Gridiron Australia community, welcome to the final series of the 2019 AGL for all of you tuning at home. This is day three. We've got, it's day three, it's first day of seedings, day four really. We have got two of the coaches competing for the 5th and 6th seeds here on Good Friday, starting with Torrent Honda, mate. OC of the Raiders. You've got a tough group of guys. It's been a learning curve, but tell you what, you've got about 40 kids who are certainly going to be going back to their football programs better.
Yeah, absolutely. We've had probably the first time we've had such a young group. Our average age is 16 and 3 months, so that's something that we haven't really been used to, and we're really excited. We're only going to lose 7 of them from this program, so in the future we should have a better showing, and I think that so far in this tournament we've shown that we can be pretty explosive, but we just haven't really been able to finish, and we're just hoping that we can sort that out today.
Mate, obviously this has been a huge learning experience for you. You joined as an OC for the Women's Raiders last year. You jumped on board for the Junior AGL this year. What's been the biggest learning point for you?
It's just trying to be able to motivate the young boys. I think that today there's a lot of competition for their attention, and so getting them to do the best that that they can and get the best out of it. And it's been a bit difficult in that area, but it's been really fun as well, because these boys, once they buy in, they're all in, and it's been really exciting.
Well, I'm sure you guys probably have wanted a few more wins on the board, but you've certainly got a great group of kids and they look like they're having a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Thanks for your time, Coach.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Good luck. And that was Torrent Honda, OC of the Western Australian Raiders. Surely a big future in coaching for him. Now we'll turn our attention to my left here to Coach Matt Long. Loves a chat with me. Coach, dare I say, this is one of the first time in the tournament that you guys might be going in as favourites.
Yeah, it's we don't have the expectation that everyone else is going to be beating us, and so this time now we've got to be planning for that, be prepared to be the ones that in the prime position, because we've been the underdogs fighting below, and these guys have at least got the determination and the heart, and let's see if they can keep it up.
Mate, it's been a long tournament. Here you are at your final day. What are your outgoing thoughts for the All-Stars in 2019?
This program's gone along better this year than I ever would have hoped it would have. The team came together very quickly, a lot stronger than anyone would have expected us to. And the good thing now is that we've got a lot of points to take away from this, both for the players and for the program, to hopefully keep growing this in the future, and get a larger squad down and use this as development for all 3 of the states that are participating in this program.
Fantastic, Coach. Good luck. And you've got a great group of kids as well. Best of luck for the rest of the tournament.
Thanks very much, Kenny.
For those at home, we'll show you the team list now. I'll be running back to the booth, and when I get back, we will discuss the final game for the last 2 teams competing here, 5th and 6th place. And we'll be back shortly. And here I am back in the commentary booth, not dealing with the sound delay there. Forgive my little effort leading into the last team list, but here we are. The final series begun, and after much debate, it looks like we finally know how our final ladder stands, and we are bringing the graphic up as I speak. And after much discussion, it has been decided that New South Wales will be taking on Queensland for the National Championship tomorrow in the second game. So therefore, the third and fourth teams will be the Victorian Eagles taking on the South Australian Sharks. But of course, today on Good Friday, the All-Stars and the Raiders will be meeting together and clashing for a chance to take home a victory in 2019. And you had a chance to take a look at the team lists for both teams. Obviously, that will change, and I will update you throughout the day about some of the injuries and number changes that have been gone underway. We are early, so let's take an opportunity to announce and also acknowledge our officials for today. White hatting from New South Wales is Greg Evers. The umpire for today, Leon Carter from Victoria. Head linesman is Scott Fletcher from New South Wales. Our line judge, Ryan Balsamo from Queensland. Our field judge, Pam Pellizzari from Western Australia. We talked a lot about her and her bloodlines in officiating yesterday. And our side judge, Kevin Chen from Victoria. So there are our zebras taking us into battle here on this Good Friday matchup. And soon to be joining me in the booth, and of course, is my favourite man, coach, and leader, John Hollywood Rowe. And as he kits up, and while he gets himself ready, how about we recap the tournament that has been on day one at Queensland. Started off a strong 45 points to 8 over Western Australia. New South Wales, they went down to Victoria 10-14, which is obviously a big talking point over the last 24 hours. The South Australian Sharks had a very, very close encounter with the All-Stars, 22 points to 20 for the final game of day one. And moving on to day two, Queensland, 49 points to 0, their first shutout of the tournament against the Sharks. The All-Stars were locked in a tough match with Victorian Eagles. They went down 14 points to 38. And the Western Australian Raiders also had a tough matchup with New South Wales Wolverines, going down 34 points to 0. And of course, day three, which just happened yesterday, New South Wales, they managed to hold off a hungry All-Stars unit, 16 points to 8. And South Australia, they really turned on their offense in the second half, 40 points to 18 over the Raiders. And Queensland, they went marching on to a 3-0 record, 35 points to 6 over Victoria. And got a little while to kill. We are still 20 minutes ahead of kickoff.
Just 1, 2. Oh, Kenny, we're live.
There we go.
Hello.
We are live.
Hello, ladies in the stands, ladies and gentlemen.
Coach Hollywood.
Stands.
Wasn't
Hello.
sure if you were ready yet.
This is great. Check 1, 2. Barnsey, Chisel Barnsey. Everything's working fine. We've got Kit Kats galore and we've got notes galore. No, look, listen here. We've got people viewing in from around the world, mainly parents also. All-Stars number 7, who's a favourite of mine, Will No, I'm just going to pronounce it Simington. There is no G, it's a silent G. So if that's his mum or parents that have phoned in there, from now on I'm going to refuse to pronounce the G.
Despite the little gift they've given us here in the booth.
That is a big G. We're going to pronounce the G. It's Will Simington. I am now a converted Simington fan with a G, thanks to the
What is really funny is
Kit
that
Kats.
Matt Long, head coach of the All-Stars, actually gave me props because he actually thought it was Symington. I'd correctly been pronouncing the first part of it correctly as Symington, but of course I'd been negating the little G in there, the hard G, the Symington.
The hard G, it's a hard G. Is it Symington Smythe or Symington Smith? James Bond reference there. Big game today, Kenny. All-Stars versus WA in a game that I think will be a doozy. You've got two teams that the All-Stars, just pure heart and love playing sport, and WA have had some injuries over the last couple of days, but want to come away with a W.
Well, it's funny you tell me that. I walked up to Coach Kerr in pre-game and I'd heard he had quite a few injuries, and I'd taken him to my team list. I'm like, hey, Coach, do you mind marking on my team list who may be dealing with injuries in this matchup today? He just grabbed my pen and has just drawn a straight line down my team list. Yes, indeed, but plenty of Raiders dealing with injuries. 17, in fact. Only 3 of them have been ruled out, so you can have about 17 lads playing through injuries.
Wow.
5 of them strapped up for a couple of minor injuries, so you got some real sore boys out there.
Oh, absolutely, and it's been all about prevention, injury prevention last night. We noticed a lot of the coaches strapping, taping, looking after them, and making sure that they were well rested and recovered this morning for today's game. Kenny, and I'll put it out there straight away that I really do not like any team having to play within 24 hours of playing. I think it's ethically wrong from a safety point of view, but unfortunately the tournament has done this today because of probably a cost perspective, but I'd like to see in the future that no team ever played within 24 hours of having played.
Yeah, it's a tough gig. It's a question that was asked in the women's AGL this time last year over in Perth. We had several teams playing back-to-back, some well and truly within 24 hours of each other there. We had some playing, kicking off at 6 p.m. and then playing at 4 p.m. the next day. So it's very, very tough in these bodies, particularly as the tournament goes on. Of course, this is the last game for both of these teams as they compete here, and it's actually very, very fascinating and very, very reflective of this Western Australian outfit. Coach Kurt, he did sit his players down and offered them the opportunity to sit this game out if they need be in the order of safety and the sake of protecting their bodies. Obviously a couple of seasons all ready to be kicked off once all these players come home, but as a team they came back to him very, very quickly and said, no, we will kit up and we will finish this tournament. So that is the situation at hand, and we turn attention to ACT, North Queensland and Tasmania, the 3 states making up the All-Stars. Like the Raiders, they are chasing their first victory. But the All-Stars obviously have had a couple of closer games, got very, very close to winning their first game after only 1 training session together. They're a 2-point conversion away from at least drawing a game against the South Australian Sharks. Obviously a different story in some of their other games. In game 2, they went down 38-14 to Victoria, and quite frankly they just couldn't compete offensively. Defense stood up quite a bit, but the Victorian offense a class above there, and in game 3 they put up one heck of a fight, coming back late in the 4th to make a close game out of their clash with New South Wales, only losing 16 points to 8. And Coach, I'm seeing that you've been given a little note there for some...
Yeah, somebody have obviously been to Mascot at 7 o'clock on the 13th of April and withdrew $50. Oh no, sorry, I'm reading the wrong side. Also a shout out, and we heard the chants of happy birthday this morning. Ryan Evans, number 19 from WA. It's his 16th birthday today, and all the WA boys did sing him happy birthday this morning at the breakfast table. It was quite funny. They all have a good singing voice actually when they break into song together. I mean, it's not Allard Jones and the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, but the whole team did well. So happy birthday, Ryan Evans, number 19 from WA. He's turning 16 today.
I think everyone sounds good singing happy birthday, to be honest. It's the one song that I think everyone sounds half decent at. And on top of that, Declan Garrity from Queensland as well. I think he had his 15th birthday on Wednesday, just passed. A couple of birthdays throughout the tournament.
He's probably the youngest guy on the oldest team.
Yeah, I think so. And I think, yeah, a lot of his family up there is his uncle, his father as well, Jason and Jared Garrity.
Oh, that's right. That's Garrity's. They came down in the big silver monster mobile there, the 4-wheel drive, the typical Queensland, southeast Queensland machine. I think it's jacked up on 400-inch tyres and clears the ground by 4 metres. But that'd be a lovely cruising car to come down. A few parents have driven down from Queensland, made the 10-hour trip, I think it is.
Oh, from Queensland?
Yeah,
Mate, that's at least 12.
At least 12. Well, the way he drives, it'll be 10.
Or maybe the way I drove. We've still got a little bit towards kickoff, 12 minutes, of course, like we have with the first game. With every game day, we'll have the Australian national anthem.
Everybody knows how we do it now, Kenny.
You think so, but we've got 12 minutes to kill, mate.
I mean, there was quite a few comments, positive comments, about when I went live yesterday, and we showed them how we do the Australian national anthem from the commentary booth.
And
for me, Kenny, I'm just looking. I mean, number one, I think the field has been magnificently marked. Really credit to the creator there, Matt Steele and John Rowe, who came out this morning and did line marking.
So I noticed an interesting addition to the Western Australia player box.
That was Matt Steele. He was a little bit wobbly. So you'll see some of the lines aren't exactly perfect. The field may actually look a bit smaller today, and that's probably true because Matt Steele, the Gridiron Australia Development Director there, decided to make the field smaller. He just decided to, he didn't like the high-scoring game, so he decided to make the field smaller. So it was a bit more of a run-orientated thing. So I tell you what, the grass actually has grown seriously. I mean, we've said it's a heavy track all week, but we're at ground level now, and the grass has actually really grown in just a week. So it's either trying to repair itself, or it will be interesting to say the players will really have to lift their feet today to get some long runs.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if they were going to shave off a little bit in between games. Or something.
A little off the top. Oh, look, there we go. See, that's the quality.
Look at there. There's the
Look
marker.
at that. I mean, I think I graffitied that. I mean, not that I'm used to the Western train lines at all.
That was a 50, right?
Yes, and going the wrong way too.
But yeah, look at there. You can see the pictures of the Western Australian sideline. The spirits are still high.
They're bouncing around.
Yeah, despite what their bodies may be feeling. Also, a correction. I'll get out of the way now. Both you and I were instructed that Gil Ellicott was injured, too injured to play, and we were confused about when his jersey was running around yesterday. Turns out he did play through his injury. Obviously, we thought he might have had a broken ankle.
What?
He went back. It wasn't broken. It was merely sprained. He taped it up and came back and played about half a game yesterday. Tough young man.
That's either very dumb or very impressive.
Well, you can see there he is, number 24. Looks like he's moving around all right. That's Enzo Balducci. I've done it again, sorry. All these similar numbers.
Yes, Gil Ellicott
43.
there. Enzo Balducci there. Look, I think the All-Stars have never given up, and I've been on their sideline a couple of times now doing down chain crew, and they just, the heart they have for every single play, not just the game. It's really not about, obviously they want to win, but they're more concerned about, are they doing well every single play, and if they're not, then they're still cheering to pep up their teammates to make sure that they do well every single play.
And we talk about all the disadvantages that a team like the All-Stars that come together at camp effectively have to go through, but that is probably one of the few advantages. You have less pressure on yourself. You haven't been hyping yourself up with the rest of your teammates through the 10, 12 weeks of preparation, building this pressure in your head. You get there with low expectations, saying, hey, as long as I do my job, which quite frankly is the key to football.
That's exactly right.
You end up executing well, and you play with a little more fun, to be honest.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, we just had we're going into the middle for the coin toss very shortly, Kenny.
You see Greg Evers once again, his third white hat game for this
one of the things that I really appreciate, I went over to the officials' tent just before to have a word, and I've never seen more tubs of plus 30 sunscreen in my life.
They know what's up.
So if some of the balls maybe are sailing today from the QBs, it's probably because they've been touched by some of the referees who have that huge buckets amounts of sun cream on.
Well, they're keeping it sun safe here.
They're like different creatures, aren't they, the referees? They sort of only come out in the sun when they need to referee games. Yeah, to do this job. So otherwise they're in some dark dungeon doing data analytics or coming out from the Cherry Hills Senior Citizen Home.
It's interesting, some of the jobs that a lot of these officials, I've always asked myself what compels one to be a full-time, if you'll call it, official.
I think Greg Evans is an assassin, professional assassin.
Oh, mate, you wouldn't be surprised. But you see a lot of police officers who are used to have that natural tendency to wanting to be able to control the situation, or being able to control the situation and communicate. They get attracted to the profession or the hobby, and we might finally have an opportunity to quiet down here because the coin toss is about to take place, and it sounds like we are mic'd up down there. There's the birthday boy, Ryan Evans.
Honorary captain today.
How's the call? You'll take the ball? Yeah. Which way would you like to run?
We'll run the ball right way.
Run the ball back to the ends, please, guys. WA here. Just there. Turn around, guys. WA have won the toss and have elected to receive. Ends is shown, 2 minutes. That's
And I don't know if you can hear it through our microphones, but the officials are mic'd up to the PA,
Oh, finally.
so the crowd will be ready for that.
Congratulations to Paul Mills and the live streaming crew for getting that done, because it is the 1800s equipment here, so they've done some really good job to try and get a flying eagle with a piece of string to get the speakers working. They've done that, so that's a great job. You can see Ryan Evans there, one of the honorary captains today. It was his birthday. He was a little nervous, I heard, about the coin toss, because he's never been out there before. So
It's
he's
a daunting experience. If you
Coach,
haven't-
what do I do? What if I get it wrong? And the coach, Kerr, said, what do you mean? Well, what if I get it wrong? How do you get the coin toss wrong? You either call it heads or tails. It's pretty simple.
You're
Yeah, but what if I get it wrong?
You telling me you haven't seen a player mess up a coin toss before? I've gone up there, a tired player has gone up and choose to kick when we've had the coin toss. You've had someone who said deter instead of defer.
You may have mentioned it before, Kenny, but I've seen Alex Endel out there on his crutches, but he's in playing kit. Right there in the middle of the screen.
Yeah, he's a tough guy.
He was in coach's uniform the other day.
And it's interesting, as I was speaking to Coach Kerr about Alex Endel, he was saying he's a tough guy, still wants to contribute where he can. He was in warm-ups on crutches, trying to do the best he can with the warm-ups. Respect. And as WA lines up, we will ask everyone here at the Sydney Academy of Sports and Recreation to be upstanding for the Australian National Anthem. And there it is, the Australian National Anthem. Here on Good Friday, the 5th versus 6th matchup, the battle for 5th place between the Western Australian Raiders and the All-Stars, of course representing the states of Far North Queensland, Tasmania and the Australian Capital Territory. Some
good discussions last night, Kenny, about whether Far North Queensland might actually have their own team in the future in maybe the next competition, and Tasmania is going from strength to strength, so they finally might be able to get a whole team up there. But it could be one of those hypotheticals of ACT and Tasmania and Far North Queensland in the mix, so to speak. So that'd be quite exciting.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting decision. Obviously, the topic will always be, and it sounds like we're going to have some company in our booth here, whether we like it or not today.
Yeah, if we could have the medics.
But yeah, the question about when is it the right time to do it? Is it too early, or are you holding them back? Obviously, if Far North Queensland have their own team, that's a big chunk of the players and not representing the All-Stars once again. So I'm sure the right people will make the right decision when the time comes. But yes, 2021 is a long time away.
Oh, absolutely. And just when you think about just how much these young men are going to grow and then move on into seniors, some are still obviously very eligible for a tournament next time it swings around. I'm just admiring that sideline shot there, Kenny, with how well the field is marked. The All-Stars getting ready to kick off. 2 returners back for Western Australia. Again, we're almost just within 24 hours of one of these teams having played a game. And here we go for 5th versus 6th.
Kickoff is underway. And will it stay in bounds? It'll bounce below Lockie Pink and it'll roll into the end zone. Though it's interesting, if it touched him, I think he would have been obliged to return that. But I'm a commentator.
I did notice that the other day, Kenny. I think it bounced off one of the Victorians' hands, I think it was, and it did go in the end zone. But as long as it goes in the end zone, whether it's been touched, etc., it's all over.
And
I can hear the referee's blowing the whistle there.
Nice little...
A little bit. Good morning.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good morning, good evening, and good night.
Starting our day with in the afternoon today, usually kicking off at 10 a.m. Of course, tomorrow it'll be a 9:30 kickoff for the battle for third place, a podium finish in the AGL. But right now, it's a raging battle for 5th and ACT, Queensland and Tasmania come up with a huge stop there to start the day.
It's a great job there on the corner with Ryan Worsley there. Look at the way he was outside shade technique. His obviously responsibility then was outside contained. Did it perfectly and met the runner and did exactly what he was supposed to do. Great start for the All-Stars.
Had a solid game last game. Cyclones most improved from a year ago. There he is on the outside. They'll quickly go to the outside. Pass attempted to Curtis Madeira. And that'll fall incomplete and that'll bring up a long third down situation for the Raiders here on their first possession of this game.
I think this will be a nice little chess match because you've got the All-Stars have really done some really good film work over the course of the tournament and have performed really well. I mean, they've kept most teams pretty low there on the scoring. The All-Stars defense definitely has been has underpinned the team, so to speak.
Yeah, shout out to Lachlan Ficini, the defensive coordinator for the All-Stars, doing a good job, almost intercepted on the ground by Jack Popel.
WA going with a run first and then 2 passes. Just unable to come down with it. It's 4th down, about 16 yards.
So, 4th down here.
It's one of those types of things, Kenny, whereas the 3 o'clock game, you mentioned about the times before, the 3 o'clock game for me is, I really don't like it because you've got to wait around all day to play.
Exactly right, and on top of that, we've got a nice afternoon sun welcoming you on kickoff. Punting is Bailey Beckingham. It will fall nicely there for Andrew Robinson, but he'll let that roll and we'll welcome his offense onto the field for the first time this afternoon. And it looks like calling the shots might be young Christopher Wilkins again. I'm just looking for which helmet.
I can see James running out.
Yep, Micallef's there.
But is he part of the receiver or is he the quarterback? This is what we need to find out.
Behind the line, he's behind the huddle there, so starting this game at quarterback will be James Micallef. I'm already reminded of his very, very impressive run he made against New South Wales yesterday, covering about 100 yards to earn about 20.
Yeah, he got a lot of props from the referees also. They had breakfast with the referees this morning and they were saying how well his run was. That usually get a lot of blocks in the back on that type of quarterback run, but nobody did, so it was great stuff.
Micallef. He'll hand the ball off to Lacey. Lacey had a great first game and has a great first carry here, taking this ball into the Western Australian half to about the Western Australian 43.
The Tasmanian Knights Wrecking Ball continues to rumble in this tournament. That's a nice job by the right tackle there. Just trying to see who that was. But it really just fired out and shot straight down to the linebacker level so that Lacey could cut back. That was a great job.
Angus Ramsey
Really nice job, Angus Ramsey.
plays fullback at club, so to make the move to tackle for this tournament. Mikulev throwing over the middle, looking for Jeeves. I think it was too high, incomplete. Second down.
Both teams starting out first play with a run, and then second down is a pass. Or second play is a pass, I should say. But you just mentioned it there, Kenny. You sort of got a lot of players playing out of position and just coming together to play football. See Jacques Floza, the tight end for WA. He's just walking past.
Appreciating his shout out.
Yeah, but he was one of the gentlemen we're looking at for the concussion rule yesterday, so it looks like he's been cleared to come back in.
Lacey on the toss, still going, still moving his feet, following his blockers, and that's a solid gain on the second down. The All-Stars will be looking about 3rd and 5.
Nice little match up there between Flinders Cameron and was that Thomas Jeeves?
Thomas Jeeves, his teammates on
He's on the other side.
Oliver Harmer. I think you might be talking about the matchup with
Oh, there we go, yep.
young Cameron. Mikulev will pass. He's got players in the flat, but he wants something more. Will throw above his defender and does a nice job completing a pass there, I think, to Sharp.
Is that Andrew Robinson? Is that Sharp there? 24.
You're right.
No,
Andrew
34.
Robinson, my apologies. Wheel route.
Nice little wheel route there. They've scouted that. Really nice pass there. Basically, Kenny, for me, is I like anything between the numbers and the sideline. That's a nice sweet spot there to get that ball, so the defender doesn't have a chance to get to it from the middle.
Is that a wheel route, or has he just seen his quarterback rolling his way and turned upfield?
Well, that's a great question. If they'd played together forever, I'd say he turned upfield, but because they've only been together so long, I'd say it's a designed wheel route. Basically, the receiver does a speed out and then turns it up for a fly pattern.
Mikulev throwing the hitch route, getting Jeeves. Jeeves using a stiff arm there on the defensive back, Ryan Evans, the birthday boy, and he takes this close to the 10.
Just a quick pass. Don't have to worry too much about pass protection. Just got to pop them up. Nice little hitch route. And that'll be great starting field position here for the All-Stars.
Letting our production team know that our graphics are backwards at the
Oh,
moment.
yes, that's how they are. Western Australian All-Stars and the WA.
Mikulev now on first down, following the catch. Here comes Jimmy Thompson. Jimmy Thompson, a nice power back, keeps and bounds, gets close to a touchdown. Will be stopped probably half a yard short.
WA had a chance to shut this down early, Kenny, but just couldn't get the contain there on Jimmy before he got round to the edge. And once he gets going in a straight line, he's going to be a tough man to bring down. That's the pass from before. Great little drive here from the All-Stars. There you go. There's a great camera shot there at home. They're literally 1 yard out from the end zone. Great stuff.
Lacey looking for another score. Will they give it to him? He'll get one. Lacey picks up his second touchdown of the tournament. All-Stars grab a 6-point lead.
Just nice, easy blocking on the left side. Running behind their strength there. Lacey, the bowling ball. As you can see, look, Kenner's on the left tackle. They're going to run right behind him, as they've done most of the tournament.
It has been the general running attack for him. Where's
Absolutely.
Kenner? We'll run behind him.
Kenny going for the 2 points here.
A low snap, but it's handled nicely. They give it to Lacey, and Lacey does the exact same thing. He's feeling it this afternoon. He grabs the touchdown, also adds the extras.
Great camera angle here, Kenny. Just, again, right behind Kenner. Find out where his low snap. James did a great job there of getting the snap, and in the end of the day, lowest man wins.
Also might have been strongest man there, Young Free. Known more for his speed than his physicality, though he does love a hit. Lacey does a great job.
And that's sort of a well-designed play there. Basically, Kenny is you almost want your fullback or / running back to be one-on-one at the goal line with the defender trying to come up.
And well, Lacey's obviously done a number on him. Young Free holding that right shoulder. He's coming off the field now, receiving from attention, just adding to this list of injured receivers, injured Raiders, I should say. Looking in tow there with Sarah Gibson.
Again, the youngest team in the tournament, Kenny,
Yeah.
the Raiders.
My spreadsheet works it out to be 17.2 years, but in the pre-game interview, Torrin Honda said it was 16 and 3 months. So
This shows me your maths is terrible.
well, it's not my maths; it's Excel's maths, mate.
Well, your formula's wrong.
Maybe, maybe.
Also, too, Kenny, I noticed today we've got the coffee van in the back there.
Yeah.
So you come on there and get you a bit of food and a bit of coffee. The coffee van's here.
Obviously, a few more parents popping in because it's a public holiday.
Is it? I just know it was football day.
It was a football day. To everyone else, it's a public holiday, though. Here goes Grigorovich. Grigorovich breaking through the first line, and we'll be down there around the 25. And whilst this may be the battle for 5th place, it's also the last time these two teams were playing, which means it's the last time a lot of these players will be able to grab your attention. Obviously, looking for a potential Outback selection camp invite.
Oh, absolutely, Kenny, and that's what I've basically been doing in my off days, is a lot of scouting and evaluation and talking to coaches. I've been talking to a lot of coaches and assistant coaches and just trying to get the most information I can before we make an announcement for selection camp tomorrow.
Oh, and a huge stop there for the All-Stars. The shadows prevent me from identifying the numbers as quickly as I'd like, but it's a defender coming in. It's the 65.
That's Ryan Worsley again. He's having
Yes,
a good
he is.
game already.
They moved him from
He went from defensive end. They're moving him around.
to the other to the other side, I should say. There he is, far side of the line.
Showing middle bits, but they're back out.
Westlake trying to hit Lockie Pink. Target not quite there, and that'll bring up another 3rd and long. There's
Will Symington on the coverage there.
Symington.
I noticed because my sheet doesn't have a G. That's why I've been pronouncing it like that.
Neither did the one
The
I
G
was
is
given,
silent,
mate. So we've been stitched out.
I'm just going to call him Will.
I got you, Symington clan. Symington clan.
Oh, it's like Lamington.
Lamington, Symington.
Okay, Will Lamington. There we go.
3rd and long, looking about 3rd and 13. Westlake, nice pass over the middle, but the coverage is there.
It was
It's
well
Gil
contested.
Ellicott.
Well contested. Yeah, Gil with the jump.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer, number 63 on the defense. 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
And Jake Parfitt there, giving the Western Australian Raiders a huge get out of jail free card on 3rd and long.
Yeah, it was just a takedown there, Kenny. Jake from Tasmania. Basically, the tackle, the hold was okay, but if he didn't take him to the ground, that would have been all right. But no, he did bring him to the ground.
It's a tough kick there. Anyone rushing the passer, you need to be real listening for that ball's going call.
Or anybody wrapped in cotton wool these days.
I don't think you're wrong there. Lucky Pink in the slot. That's their first rush of the day.
That's a nice job there by Brenton Littlecott and Sam Allison there. Just the double team on the left side. Running back couldn't just get there, but that was a nice job by the left guard and the left tackle. Let's see if they go back to that.
Now it looks like it'll be the experienced Sam Oldfield moving to running back. Obviously played linebacker this entire tournament. That's where he played last tournament. And now he'll be taking snaps at running back. Just once again further illustrating the injury woes of the Raiders right now as Lockie Pinkett's taken down at best at the line of scrimmage.
Great job there by Lockie Pink to grab this, a fingertip catch. You'll see in the replay just a simple bubble screen. Ball's a little high. WA's just going to have to do a little bit better job there blocking on the perimeter. So make sure he can get some yards after the catch.
And what's the key to getting the ball out quick on these outside screens?
Other than practice, really, it's throw to the the quarterback's opposite side hand. So basically, if it's the quarterback's right hand, throw to the left because the body doesn't have to turn as much. And a good snap to the face so you can get that pass out straight away.
Good snap there. Westlake throws to the right. Can't get enough on it. The pass was intended to O'Halloran. And that'll bring up a 4th down. And they will punt it away to the All-Stars.
Good shot on screen there of Coach Honda and quarterback Marcus Westlake having a chat just about throwing. You can see it's trying to get that right rhythm, trying to get the young quarterback into a groove. Like he threw this bubble pass too high, but he threw that hitch pass too low, or the slant pass too low. So it's just trying to get him in that groove where he can start to connect with a few passes. So Big Sam.
I thought for a second it was going to be a
right
fake.
up the middle.
It's a nice punt. It'll be fielded there by Thompson, or will it? It spills his lollies and it drops over the sideline, but flags have been down around the 30.
Came in from the side there, Kenny, on the All-Stars. This might be a better look at it. Something happening in the middle of the field.
I don't know if
Nah, that was fine.
There is no foul for holding on the play. The blocking was legal. First down.
I think common sense prevailed on that play.
I like that. It was good. Legal holding. I do love a bit of legal holding. All-Stars. This is what I love about modern day football. Everyone's looking down like on the wristwatch, but they're all looking down at their wrist coaches to find out what the play is, because the coach has obviously gone, 7 Oklahoma. And if they look on the wrist, that'll say exactly what type of play it needs to be, whether it's a run or pass.
And typically it'd just be the quarterback with that, and you'd communicate to the rest of the team. But for the sake of a team coming together so quickly, it's just easier to give everyone one. Lacey with another toss to the right. He'll cut back, but it's a great stop there. Oh, the man walking back to the huddle. It might have been the 99. We'll take a look again on replay here. Oh, look at that.
Great job with the...
Ashley Raven.
Great job, Ashley, there. So 99, the middle linebacker. You watch him shuffle, and yes, fill the gap there. Really nice job. That is excellent. Ashley Raven on the great tackle there. Lacey looking dangerous for the cutback, but he's shut it down.
Sliding on his knees to make that tackle. Mikulev back on 2nd down. Thompson. It's a bad snap. Mikulev will.
This will be
pick it
dangerous.
up. We saw what he can do in these broken play situations yesterday. Will Western Australia give him an opportunity to do the same? They won't, but he does get it back past the line of scrimmage and turns that into a 2-yard pickup.
Sam Allison there on the chase. Nice speed from him. Nice little, probably 5-yard run from the sticks. Third and about 7. About 4 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Indeed, indeed. We've got 3rd down and 8.
Oh, I was out by a yard. Kenny, come on. Oh, triple coverage on the bottom here.
It's 4 on 3.
There we go.
And they're going to try and go for a little screen. And then Micklef goes the other way, trying to get a pass.
Was that actually Raven again? He's having a blinder so far.
Indeed.
Let's have a look for 99 up the middle. For Western Australia. Yep, he's blitzed straight up the middle through the A gap, unblocked. Great pressure, great call from the WA defensive coach. And doesn't tip his hat either, so didn't show it at all. Couldn't get James Micklef there a chance to set his feet and pass.
We talk about a lot of players getting tired as the tournament goes on. You see some people actually fire up as the tournament goes on, realising how few snaps they've got left in this tournament, trying to make the most of it. Flinders Cameron sends this downfield.
That's a great kick.
Yeah, over the top of Grigorovich, but he has got a staggered line. That's Symington, though.
Will Lamington. Great job there. Coverage there, number 7. Look at him hustle all the way down, find the ball. He is a surefire tackler here with the wingspan, puts his arm out. He's a really good edge player for this tournament, and he's making his marks belt on special teams.
And he's been very busy defensively in general. We've seen him make a bunch of nice tackles from the defensive back position, whether he's coming up from a cover 2 or whether he's flying down from his safety position or filling in a lane. Also got a pick in this tournament.
He's the typical prototype that you want, Kenny, of an outside guy who can cover the short stuff for a pass, or you can leave one-on-one for that edge rusher around the outside.
Westlake throws out to the left and collects a pass to Jacob O'Halloran.
With personal foul, roughing the passer, number 74 on defence.
Oh, they're taking
15 yards from the end of the run, automatic first down.
Well, we can't let discipline go to the wayside now.
This will be a great replay, Kenny.
It's Will Clode who's been their leading pass rusher in this tournament, but a bit too much zeal on that last play.
Yeah, it was a little bit disappointing there. Will Clode, you can see here right here, breaks through the line, but it's basically the fall down here. You can see right there. That's real dangerous there, falling down on the back of the legs or the ankles there of the quarterback. He knows better than that.
So following the penalty, it's first down after 15 yards, marching forward, and that's O'Halloran picking up a catch. Symington again on the tackle.
Just WA just trying to stick with the nice quick screens, the now screens, the bubble screens, all the stuff to the outside. Just trying to get their receivers out in space. Also probably just trying to spread the All-Stars defence out before they head back for the running game.
And no gain on that last catch. 2nd and 10. Trying to give themselves a shorter third down situation. And they'll go long though. O'Halloran's underneath it, but so are the All-Stars, making a great play competing for that ball is Ethan Force.
That's a good football name, isn't it?
Right.
The All-Stars only sending 4 then on the blitz, just their normal down linemen. You watch these 2 linebackers bail out into coverage. One-on-one on the outside, and it's just an opportunity for the receiver to go up and get it, just not in the right spot.
Back here on third down, 3rd and 10. They'll trust Lockie Pink. He has been their playmaker, but he can't break free on this occasion, because guess who's stopping him?
Will Remington. Remington Steel.
Also hair products.
He does everything. Will,
Remington,
the guy does everything.
But in this case, Symington. He's proved to be a real solid form tackler in this tournament.
Well, absolutely. I think he's anchoring down that right side of the defence there. Or left side as you look at it.
He really strikes me as a real capable zone player. He's got that sort of Richard Sherman build. Long lean, can lock down one side. As Westlake, he will attract another flag, but Lockie Pink's got it, and Lockie Pink is going to score touchdown number 3 on the final day of competition for the Raiders.
We'll check the flags. Might be a hold. I'm not sure. We'll wait for it. But a great pass. You can see what happens
I'll tell you what.
when Marcus Westlake can step up. He's got the arm to throw.
I have personal foul, roughing the passer, number 74 on defense. Penalty enforced on the kickoff. Result of the play is a touchdown.
Well, he's done it twice now. This time it won't be applied because they do score a touchdown. But Claude, you got to watch yourself, though, buddy.
Is that on Claude again?
Indeed. But I'll tell you what, Lockie Pink, I know they're not competing for a podium space today, but Lockie Pink certainly in the running for best touchdown celebrations, if you ask me.
He's got some up his sleeve there. If we get him more in the end zone, he'll show us some more.
That is Della Franca in the backfield with Westlake, but Westlake will throw, and Litters receivers in their hands, but can't bring it in. Is Bailey Beckenham. The score will remain 8-6. The All-Stars will defend a 2-point lead, getting the ball back on the ensuing kickoff.
See, watching the replays here, Kenny, the All-Stars are really wanting to pressure quarterback Marcus Westlake, number 16. Maybe that's what it's been with the unfortunate personal fouls of roughing the passer, is that they want to get to him, and they're unfortunately not pulling up in time, but you can see by that 2-point conversion, they want to get to him big time.
It's something they've done pretty well throughout the tournament, their pass rush. The defense in general has been quite solid, the All-Stars, but I think it's a lot easier to formulate an effective defense in a short time than probably is an offense.
Oh, absolutely. You can only sort of build the offense one step at a time, whereas you can almost, with the defense, go out and say, it's man, you have him, no matter where he goes. And then you're just starting to work out line stunts and blitzes and
All your run
calls
fits
and
and
yeah,
stuff like that.
and then zones a little bit later on. You see Jeeves back to return. Is this going to be Robinson?
That's the first touchback on the full, I think, for this tournament. Nice kick.
Finally.
That was
It's the final day when everyone's supposed to be sore and tired, but we've got something going in the end zone.
But of course, that was on the back of the 15-yard roughing the passer, so don't want to give him too much credit.
Oh, okay.
Don't want to pump his tires up too much.
It's just great to see a lot of the parents that have made the trip over, whether it be from north, south, or west.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a few more. Probably would have booked flights coming in for the Easter long weekend.
Oh, that'll be a fun time at an airport.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure the flights were a lovely price too. Wilkins back in a QB and is not given the best welcome by the Western Australian Raiders. And
Oh no, we've got a player
we've got
down.
an injury.
That might be the bowling ball. Is that Lacey down? Let's see what happens.
I think you're right. It is Lacey taking some collateral damage there, and he immediately grabbed his left knee. It'll be huge for the All-Stars today.
He's had a great tournament. You're right, it's probably friendly fire there. A really low snap, unfortunate for Wilkins, the quarterback. Lacey hanging around. You see just there.
Yeah, there you go.
Mitch Whittick, one of the coaches, but also physio. So he's in good hands. The fact that he can get that up and Mitch can do that to him is great. You can see concerned teammate there, Sam Kennan, number 77.
He's earned the nickname Dad, I think, on this
Dad.
tournament.
With the dad jokes or with the dad?
I think just that, well, I'll tell you what, he's obviously one of the more experienced players, the certain appearance he has as well. I saw your little video posted as Lacey looks like he can walk to the sideline. Saw that little video you sent us earlier with his friendly banter with
Coach Michael Kerr.
Coach Michael Kerr. Pre-game, flexing on him in the lunchroom.
Good mates there. That was only 1/8 of it. It was quite humorous. Everything else that went on. This will be interesting for the All-Stars now, as Lacey has been the workhorse.
But I'll tell you what, I think this will just be a fantastic opportunity for number 27, Jimmy Thompson,
Jimmy.
to get some carries, and I've got some interesting facts on him upcoming. I'll pitch out to Jimmy Thompson.
Oh,
Look at him go. Now he's looking
out.
for the outside and will take a nice hit from Sam Oldfield.
See what happens when you have a great snap, straight to the quarterback, does a really nice pitch out there, flows out to the left, Jimmy cuts it back in. Robinson there, Andrew Robinson with a great little block just to spring it for a couple more yards. You like to see a receiver getting involved in the middle. That was a nice little tackle at the end there, solid.
You expect that from someone like Oldfield? As we see another pass to the left side.
He's got the first down, Kenny.
He does. They convert, fresh set of downs for the All-Stars. But going back to Jimmy Thompson here, because I'm sure we're going to see a lot of him now with the absence of Lacey. The young man, I think, is deaf in one ear. But what he has developed, as you would expect, is the crazy ability to read lips really effectively. So it's not unusual for him to duck out of the huddle and try to read the opposition team half the time once they're trying to communicate play calls.
Yeah, no, I had a chance to meet him the other day and run some routes with him and throw some passes, and like, Coach, watch out, he's deaf. And I was like, okay. He still read my lips and knew exactly what to run.
Oh, and Murray put the mocker on him there.
I don't know about that, Kenny. I thought the handoff was a little high there, just up in the chest area, not where you want it.
Western Australia recover. The Raiders get back on the ball.
Yeah, you can see there Jimmy obviously looking at the defensive line where he needs to go. He's got his hands out ready to go, and unfortunately the quarterback Chris has put the ball up a little too high, almost up into the face mask region.
Well, almost at the end of the first quarter now. The score is 8-6 with the Raiders in fantastic field position with the opportunity to try and take the lead before the end of the first quarter. Pink, Madeira.
The Raiders going to have a strike here, Kenny, you reckon?
Left. We'll soon see. They'll run here, and is that Charlie Reed? No, it's Della Franca.
Are they going to let this run down to quarter time?
Della Franca has been used at running back a lot, but primarily to pass protect.
Again, Ryan Worsley off that end. He's having a great day today. Getting around the end and blocked.
That is the end of quarter. And talking about Worsley, I alluded to this, I think, with my call with Stacey Spear a couple of days ago, but one of the more obscure, odd characters on the team. They say he's got the sense of humour of like a man well beyond his years.
He's got the dad jokes.
He's got the dad jokes. He's
right.
often referencing Monty Python and using old references.
A shout out
that.
to his parents.
Yeah, they raised
Obviously,
him well.
upskilling the young man in maybe the Goons and Monty Python, etc.
Carl Reynolds, who's obviously considerably older than his players, says he gets on with them real well because his humour comes from his time. And we're getting a couple of injury reports sent in to us live. And just updating anyone who might have been really worried about the Queensland player who fell unconscious towards the back end of the game.
Oh, yes, the player that Eddie's
Has been cleared by doctors. He's ready to go. But I also got word from his home club that it wasn't necessarily an injury. It's actually a condition he has where it's, from what I understand, on similar lines of narcolepsy, where he can just fall asleep at any given moment. And he usually senses it, so he tries to make his way to the sideline if he feels it coming along. Fortunately, didn't get too far this time, and that's why it scared a lot of us.
Yeah, no, look, I'll bring some light into that, Kenny. Is basically, you might have seen myself and Dr. Alia running to the tent yesterday to assess on the screen what had happened, and Dr. Alia did notice that his head was hit from the side, so it did look like quite a big hit to the head. And then he's obviously stood up, walked a couple of steps, and then collapsed. So, as a doctor, she needed to do her duty and run out.
Sense.
Make sure it was cleared and all that sort of stuff.
Condition or not, with this sort of game, if someone walks out of huddle like that and that happens, I would be upset if they didn't take the correct protocol.
I am told, though, to put a light moment on it, it does look very funny if you play it backwards.
I'm sure it does. No, as some of their coaches from back at the Gold Coast said, the only thing you have to worry about is the slight bit of embarrassment he faces every time he wakes up from it. There goes Westlake again.
Oh, unblocked.
And a nice screen there will net them a couple of yards. That's Kiffin Gibbs on the reception.
I think that might be Will, man of many names, making up to the tackle there on the edge.
Symington
coming unblocked.
Navras with the Outback representative and Enzo Balducci timing up.
He's had a great tournament, I thought. He and is it Rakura? Rakura took, how about that interception?
Oh, jeez, right on
it
the
was magnificent he took the other day.
Rakura's definitely been making the flashier plays, but really understated but very effective has been Balducci. Whoa, it's a catch from Mikolev. Mikolev, who we haven't seen a whole lot of at wide receiver, almost finds himself in the end zone, but he went up to get it.
You can see here, and that's one of the reasons is James has been playing a lot of quarterback, but let's not forget he was an Outback DB. That's why he went to Mexico. He did come over as receiver. We had a try him at receiver. We said, let's get you out of DB. He came over as a DB, and you can see exactly the skills there of going up, finding the ball, high pointing the ball, and then trying to make something happen. So yeah, he's in his natural element there as DB.
Yeah, and they match Outback with Outback there. Lockie Pink up against
Lockie won't be happy with that.
No, I'm sure. I think anytime you see an Outback helmet over the top of you take that as a challenge.
And that's one of the things I do really enjoy seeing, Kenny, is if you can get a matchup of Outback versus Outback, it's that pride on the line. And yeah, as you're pointing out there, Kenny, remember we talked about it, but he's on the far hash that ball really needs to be out near the numbers if you're going to throw that fade.
And in the shadow of their own goalposts.
Is that Jimmy?
There is Jimmy making up for his last fumble. A solid run there brings them out beyond their 20.
That's a great run, running behind Kenner again. Yep, Kenner kicks him in, so Jimmy goes out and gets some first downs. They were in the shade. I think they might have liked to have stayed in the shade for a little while, but you can see Jake Sadian there just getting pushed out of the way by Sam Cameron.
No, he's certainly not the first, certainly not the last. Wilkins back calling the shots.
Trips out to the right.
Thompson
low snap,
another carry, and Wilkins will just cut to the chase and take a knee there on the bad snap.
That's actually not too bad. That's a good heads up play, young man. It's like the ball was snapped low. Look, let's not worry about a fumble or trying to get it up and I'm going to intersect. I think he just learned something.
Yeah, I think he also shows a bit of faith in his defense.
That's a better snap.
Quick throw, Jeeves. He knows he should have caught that one. Head goes up immediately. It was a great throw there from Wilkins.
Yeah, you're right there, Ken. I mean, Christopher Wilkins just took the knee for the confidence. Great snap. What a great throw on the slant pass, and unfortunately Jeeves didn't come up with it. So that's a really good thing for the confidence there. That's a good heads-up play by the quarterback. This is a great snap. Great snap. Great pass. Sets the feet. And unfortunately, the receiver with an Outback helmet like that needs to come up with those catches.
Well, he can make all the fancy ones. If you watch any tape from his Cyclones season, he's making one-handed grabs routinely. Ryan Pedley, his quarterback back home, actually a former quarterback or a former player for the Gold Coast Stingrays during their glory years, loves throwing to him. As we see Thompson truck forward again. You really don't lose a whole lot from Lacey though when Thompson's back there.
Like I said, full credit to the young man. I think his left ear is his good ear. So if you're going to speak to him, you're speaking to him his left ear. Otherwise, he's got to watch that ball. And I think that's always a good thing. He's learning to read his blocks a lot better. Good snap. Got the ball out quickly. We are 4th and 8. There's about 9 minutes and 22 seconds left to go in the half.
And Flinders Cameron will punt this away.
AFL fella as well. That's why I think they've got him back there.
Yeah. And he boots it away into the arms of Lachlan Pink. Here he is with a full head of steam, but taking him down nicely. Thought he had been beaten by Lachlan McLaren, the recent Victorian transplant.
Love the little banter there. You see Sam Kenner on special teams as well. He's doing it, lines him up. And then you watch this little bit here, they know each other. So they have a little bit of banter on the sideline, but I think Sam was getting ready to try and make a highlight film. You'll see here 14 taking the ball. Here comes Sam Kenner up the back of the screen. Look up!
I think it's right there. We're just on the back of it there, but you know that's the joy of Outback players reuniting at the AGL. Westlake with Delafranca. Quick throw to the left, completion out to the left. And is that a fumble? Well, the whistles have saved him.
I'm going to say, Kenny, I thought the referees were a little early with the whistle yesterday, and they might have been a little early again today.
I'll see when. Oh no! Well, I think the knee would be down, so dig them. So
as I said, that, look, the referees have been back in their calls too, and they don't have the advantage of instant replay, or they've got to make it in split-second timing. Yeah, that's a good call there. You see that ball slamming down there.
False start. Number 8 on the offense. 5 yards from the previous spot. Remains second down.
And it's been pretty good today, but do you think, especially in Natty Satty, as I've called it, tomorrow with
what? Natty Satty?
National Championship Saturday?
Oh my goodness. Hashtag YOLO Natty Satty.
Do you think we'll end up seeing more or less penalties with, you know, the players well aware of how these officials will call their games all season, or do you reckon the emotion might get the better of the teams competing tomorrow?
Well, Kenny, again, you bring up a great point that I'll have a chat after this play.
Westlake looking deep, will launch one. Too far there. I don't know if his receiver did not back him. What you were saying?
I was just watching James Micallef there. If the ball hits you and you don't bring it down, you can do 5 push-ups. You watch him here. Hits him in the hand, he knows it, and he's going to do some push-ups. Just having a good chat with the referees this morning, Kenny, as I said, and it's really interesting, the stats that they've broken down of the tournament so far, and basically working it out that the big ones like the unsportsmanlike conducts, the 15-yarders, etc., is that an attitude thing? Then you've got the sort of the 10-yarders, which is the holding and pass interference and a few things like that. So that's more of a technique thing, so that could be on the coaches for not having coached them. And then the 5-yarders, like the false starts or the illegal procedure or
all the more
incorrect formation,
minor stuff,
is a simple player's mental capacity of he's not constraining or he's just having a bad day. So I thought it was really great that they broke it down.
Fascinating. And there's a nice pass for a first down. Moving the sticks for his team is Jerry Venturis.
But in answer to your question, Kenny, I think this tournament has had more penalties per game than just about any other tournament I've ever seen, and I think that's something that needs to be looked at by the coaches. Is especially, I think this is the most tournament with unsportsmanlike conducts.
Yeah. And
so what are we seeing from the players, and why are they doing it?
Exactly right, and that's something that needs to be broken down. I think each state will go back; they'll have a breakdown and a debrief. But I think holistically, as a gridiron country, it's something we need to assess. Is that a reflection of our sport, or at least at this age division right now, and how we're going to address that? Or is it an anomaly?
See, Marcus Westlake getting in a bit of a rhythm now with the passing here. He's getting them out on time. He's getting the spirals.
Scoreboard there, just for some reason taking away the WA touchdown, but it is 8-6. Westlake throwing off his back foot for Lockie Pink. And Lockie Pink stretches over for the touchdown. And what's he got for us this time? Just a more subdued one there. A bit of love with the teammates.
I know what that move. That's the I think at Torren Honda, get out of it move. That's a great job of Westlake there, rolling right, keeping his eyes downfield. and doing a nice jump ball. Getting time there. Kenner in pursuit. Throwing as he gets hit and falls down. Oh, we're having a look here. Did he lose the ball before going into the end zone? The touchdown has been signalled. Replay. Oh, this will be a doozy angle for those watching at home.
Or not. And WA. And unsuccessful. So we'll take a look again. Score is 12-8 in favour of the Raiders.
Camera down the line. Oh, yes, he's got it over. That's
he's
a
got
good,
it over.
great call again by the officials.
That's Ms. Palazzari.
That's a great call there. I think he caught it just outside, was able to reach in, then lost the ball, but that is a touchdown. So great job there, Lockie Pink and Westlake for rolling and then falling over and making it look good.
12-8. Raiders head of the All-Stars now.
This will be interesting, Kenny, whether we see quarterback James Hairbear come back in now, or do we see Chris still stay in?
I think it's fantastic for Matt Long that he's given both quarterbacks an opportunity to develop and get game time and get better in this tournament.
And especially at this stage of the tournament, Kenny, his players have paid a lot of money to be here, so let's get them on the field and get them a good experience.
It is a tough one, though, obviously, especially maybe not now's the best example, but for some of the teams competing for a national championship, obviously, you do come down to win. That is one of the aspects of why you come down. It's not
Here goes
pure
little Robinson again. I want to see this. Put
What
the gun
happened
on.
to- Following the block there of Jeeves, and eventually Sam Oldfield lays another lick on the All-Stars.
Andrew Robinson there, from the Central Spears, has this knack, and I've noticed that all tournament he wants to take it back into the middle. We might just need to coach that out of him. Put the jets on, head to the sideline, and save your body.
Also back your speed. Maybe that's it. Not enough
Absolutely.
confidence in the speed.
You can see we're right there once the edge. Just get around the edge.
Now, that is probably something I don't know which coaches I was talking to. Maybe it was Matt Long, maybe it was Patrick Carroll, talking about with a lot of the ball carriers coming into our game in Australia with a rugby or rugby union or rugby league background. Obviously, they have a natural aversion to the sideline, meaning their cutback angles.
Charge team timeout to the All-Stars. It's the first timeout for the half.
Are a little different, and that actually goes along with. I've spoken to a lot of the imports that played in Queensland this season past, and he goes, "What's the difference? Between the athletes across here and there?" And he's like, "Man, it's different. Everyone's like ball. It's everyone, and there's so many different angles you need to work out because no one's actually filling in angles. Everyone's chasing the ball, and other way around as well. When he's pursuing, he's thinking different angles to a lot of the Australians because they tend to cut back a little earlier than most." So.
And yeah, you're exactly right, Kenny. You'll just find at different ages and different age groups and different levels, the angles of pursuit, the way that they're taught, obviously more of the rookie type thing, they'll just chase the ball, whereas when you get into certain state level and international, there are rules of which angles you need to take to pursue the ball, just to shut down that exact cutback lane you're talking about.
7 minutes and 9
That was the
seconds.
quickest time run down there I've ever seen. We've just gone from 7 minutes 30 to 7 minutes and 9 seconds.
Yeah, but that is the official time. 7 minutes 9 seconds remaining in the first half.
It's the Illuminati.
Western Australia with the lead. Thompson has to cut early. The D-line's making his life miserable on this point.
Thompson dishing it out though. Somebody got a smack in the mouth from a shoulder. Great snap. A little bit of dancing around. I think, again, Thompson's one of those lacy backs that just needs to go north and south. There should be no dancing behind the backfield. A little bit hard there, though, when Cody King there, the centre, he's just got to get a better block on that nose. One technique there.
2nd and 7. Wilkins looking to the outside, looking at Robinson. Robinson too short for that play. That'll fall incomplete. And the new task is 3rd and 7.
You can see Wilkins there definitely getting the ball out a lot quicker today. Sort of held on to it a bit long the first couple of games in the tournament. Now he's just getting out, getting his footwork right.
And 6:24 remaining now after the last incomplete pass. And here goes
Still
Jimmy
going.
Thompson again. Does not die with the ball in hand. He certainly pumps those legs as long as they'll let him.
All Stars staying in the same formation. 2 receivers to the left, 1 receiver to the right, and just running behind those 2 receivers. We've got a tight end out to the right too. Just 5 minutes and 46 seconds running clock now.
And here goes Robinson again, showing that he's got a little bit of power as well on 4th down. Clutch play there from the young man.
That's a great job of juking and diving there. Wanted to get to the outside. Western Australia, great job with outside contain there. Makes him cut back up the middle. Really nice job of covering the ball, protecting the ball, putting his head down and getting a 1st down. 1st down and 10 for the All-Stars. Have a look at this. He's going to plant his foot right in the ground there. Just a little hop, skip and a jump.
Back to live pictures. 1st down and 10 following that Robinson run. He's out into the right slot. And they'll motion him now. Will they use him again? He's into the left now. But they'll pitch it out to Thompson. Thompson running with a load behind him. Trucks forward for a good 6 or 7 yard gain on 1st down.
That's a great job here. Just got the motion going, so they'll follow that. Just a nice little rugby league pass out to the right. And Thompson is, I believe, plays rugby as well back up in
Rugby league.
Rugby league back up in Townsville there. That's a typical play for him, so just get him the ball. And
Early
he'll just
ball,
rumble
coach.
and start to get you yards.
Early ball, coach. Early ball. Second
Is that
down
the
now.
dummy half, the scrum dummy half position there? I don't know.
Fly. It's been a while since you've
I
been
don't know
in that
anything
school.
about
What is up with us giving him raps and then immediately him fumbling?
Well, again, Kenny, I want to have a look at the handoff here. Is it too low? Is it the right spot? Double A gaps there almost for Western Australia. How's the snap? How's everything? Snaps. Oh, a little. Okay, yeah, you can see what's happened there is basically, yes, the quarterback hasn't given the ball to Jimmy, so basically he's sort of thrown it at him, but that's because the snap was low and to the right there, basically having to pick it up off his knees, and he's pretty much just swung around with his hand and not been able to give a clean handoff, which has cost the All-Stars.
So Raiders now, with a couple ticks over 4 minutes, have an opportunity to add to their lead, and Halloran stays on his feet. Can he beat Symington? He cannot. That's another tackle for that young man, but it's another great catch for Halloran.
I think Enzo Beneducci there, I think on the blitz, he was deciding to come off a B-gap pressure. Just made the QB have to throw it quicker than he wanted. And nothing wrong with that block there from, I think it was Brereton Littlecott, I think.
Playing to the whistle, to the echo to the whistle, as coaches say.
Playing through the whistle.
Westlake off his back foot, but he completes it. No, he does not. Incomplete. This will bring up 3rd down for the Raiders. I know we run through some of the lovely camera operators who've been working with us all tournament there. That's Ethan Lee. And camera 1 and camera 3. That is Andrew, one of the young high school kids.
Give us a
from
wave. Come on, cameraman.
Forest High School.
There you
There
go.
it is. And that is Dale. Of the
Oh,
other
Dale, dude, act
character
like you do
from
some work around
Forest
here.
High School. So a couple of Forest High School students, as we see a potential fumble. Westlake picks it up. He squirts through the line and is eventually taken down. You can't beat the tackle of Symington, but he certainly gets the Raiders out of significant trouble on third down.
Did you say Zimington? There's another name I think there.
Symington.
Gee, he's done well today for the All-Stars. Just drops back, checks. You can see that he's got the quarterback in his sights. I'm just going to call him Will the Octopus. He's got those 8-foot long arms, which can just reach out and tackle anybody.
And to finish off the rest of our camera operators, that's Josh Mills on
And
the roaming cam.
As we look at Joshua too on the camera, just reminding people, make sure you put sunscreen on out here in the sun. Okay, people of fair skin can burn very easily.
Yeah, Josh Mills spent a lot of his spent a lot of his time in Colorado as well, so he's not used to being back home in the sun.
No, but those guys have done great. I mean, we've had replays, we've had medical replays. I mean, we've even had first down replays where we needed for measurements.
For the figuring out the last line of scrimmage. This punt is sent by Beckingham down, and actually it's a fantastic punt
That's a
inside the
great
10.
kick. That is a great kick by WA.
Punts have definitely gotten better as the tournament's gone on.
Absolutely. A little bit of time there too. Look at that, just the WA drop punt. Obviously a West Coast Eagles or Fremantle Docker supporter there, just with the drop punt.
Dare I suggest, no knock on
Dare.
the rolling the rolling punt that
The
a lot of
Chabby
the teams
roll.
use. But I think as some teams have decided just to go back to the traditional A spot, some of their punches have felt a little more comfortable with it.
Yeah, and to each their own. So, look, at the end of the day, the play is probably one of the biggest chunks of yards you can get. A kickoff being one, and a punt being probably number two. So, you want that punter who's going to be so responsible for you to trap the defense down in the other end of the field, to feel comfortable in what they do. So, there's no point in saying, "Hey, do you torpedo this out of bounds?" Say, "How do you like to kick?"
And let's
And really
build around
find out.
that. So another change at quarterback. Returning is James Mikulev. Thompson, unfortunately,
That's another fumble.
day isn't getting better for him. Both teams arguing for it, and it looks like it'll be a WA Raiders ball.
Oh, you can see they're just reaching for it too. So the handoff height was excellent. I just think Jimmy may have gone grabbling for it there.
Is that a situation of maybe a little concern about the last two exchanges?
Yeah, you can see that. You can see not even the correct technique there to
Result
grab
of
the
the
ball the way
play
we like that.
is a fumble recovery by Western Australia. First down. We have an injury timeout.
Cool, now Thompson is also injured, so adding injury to insult.
But you can probably see the injury may have occurred when they're rolling around the ground trying to get that ball. But you can definitely see the what we like to have, is that right elbow up, left elbow down type situation where we put the ball in the breadbasket. But you could see Jimmy was really reaching and trying to get that ball off the quarterback and not letting him place it in.
And we've got an injury timeout. Why don't we go through the games for Natty Saddy, as I'm going to nickname
Oh
it.
my goodness me!
We're currently seeing 5th versus 6th. The All-Stars taking on Western Australia. And then after much deliberation, 3rd versus 4th will be Victoria taking on the South Australian Sharks. And competing for a national championship will be Queensland and New South Wales. That will be happening at 12:45 p.m.
And I tell you, you sort of say that Victoria versus South Australia, there was much deliberation and much conversation at
only
camp
imagine.
last night.
And,
Many emails sent backwards and forwards and conversations.
So maybe I'll use this opportunity to clear up something. Now, from what I understand, it has been the decision that has been ratified by the Gridiron Australian board that the interpretation of the tiebreakers goes sequentially. Therefore, head-to-head couldn't be applied because it needs to go to a three-way tie. And in the instance of a three-way tie, the tiebreaker is for and against, and with New South Wales holding the stronger for and against over Victoria, despite the head-to-head, because of the South Australian Sharks win yesterday, New South Wales progressed to the national championship.
Yeah, absolutely right, Kenny. And basically, I think you mentioned the word keyword interpretation, and that sort of play off. I think it was Luke Chapman that may have been the mastermind of that rule system there. So, why wouldn't you just give him a call and say, "What's the interpretation?" and go to the Master Yoda, so to speak. But I think that head-to-head really only implies if the two teams have played each other.
Very much so. Yeah, it has to be with that, or at least common opponents. But yeah, two unclear because neither team had played South Australia.
Correct.
And then look, you can get into all the arguments about strength of schedule and whatnot, but the reality is, as the rules stand, that's the way they were interpreted. And hopefully from moving forward, we can just use this as a chance to cement the rules. And there is a touchdown for Western Australia. Bringing that in is Jerry Venturis.
Oh, Jerry Ventura. Very nice. Ventura Highway. Look out. That's a great job. Just a little sit route there, just a slant sit or a snag there. Throwing it up. I'm not sure if Will really saw him. Just said, you want to throw it to where you're going to be. This will be a great angle here. Yeah, just a slant route. Everybody's turned. I like that route. I think that might be the snag scat where we have the snag slant and sit, and then you have a corner over the back corner, which makes the cornerback turn. And yeah, that's exactly what it looks like.
So it's Marcus Westlake's third touchdown for today. Can he add a 2-point conversion? He cannot. And the score remains 18 points to 8. The Raiders hold a 10-point lead with 2 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the first half.
Again, you can see there, Westlake has just got to get that confidence to lead the receiver. Throwing too many times behind the receiver. Maybe a little gun shy from probably, I think it was 6 interceptions he threw.
I'll be honest, I lost count.
Yes.
And to be fair, that was both teams.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shaw as well didn't have the greatest day, but it was kind of, both teams were kind of nullified from the other team's
absolutely.
turnovers. So it's almost like they agreed to just go balls to the walls in reference to their throws, of course.
Absolutely. Thank you. Rated PG. So as you mentioned, it'll be kickoff now. 2 minutes and 5 seconds to go in the half.
Depending on how this kickoff goes, the All-Stars might get one untimed play, if you would want to call it that. A play that'll effectively take them straight to the 2-minute warning.
I can see the crowds come a little bit more.
We'll stroll down to the bed. I don't know if anyone's tucked into their Easter eggs early. And trying to return that, I think it's Jeeves. Jeeves will pick it up and go. Interesting, given how he picked it up. But here he goes. The All-Stars have had a knack for scoring before the end of the half. He won't score here, but he will get it just outside the Raiders' 20. And I think that was a flag thrown towards the end of the run.
Number 19 there. We'll see how Ryan Evans ended up. But look at this. It's 2 yards deep in the end zone. He's going to bring it out. Some key blocks there. Good job on the side. And let's head down the sideline. He's getting egged on by their machine. Oh, no, that's fine now. I think number 13. Tyrell
It's a
Sharp
2-minute
there
warning.
for the
There's
All-Stars.
1:52 left in the half.
1-5-2, obviously. Just a 2-minute warning there. Of course, that kickoff took longer than the 5 seconds that was left. So
Yeah. I don't think there was a penalty there, Kenny. From that replay, it looked like it was a legal block. He just happened to go backwards as he got blocked.
we picked up the flag. So fantastic field position. Interesting. I'd love to talk to the referees at halftime regarding the touchback rules, but that's another story. And Ashley Raven closing the door.
Andrew Robinson meets Ashley Raven. Probably one of the tallest guys on the field versus one of the shortest guys on the field.
Look at this. This is like a bouncer on Friday nights for me. Just get out of here.
Not with those shoes, buddy. Ladies night only. This will be a great angle here, just off to the left. Oh, completely unblocked. That's why, Kenny. Just from the middle linebacker position. Nobody picked him up. Completely unblocked. Middle linebacker who's 700 foot tall.
Unblocked or not, it still reflects well on his stat sheet, which is building nicely this afternoon.
Look at the pressure here by WA. They're all up on the line of scrimmage.
They send a lot of them. Oh, on the fingertips for Robinson. Robinson, geez, he looks like an athlete when he runs, doesn't he?
He does. I think it's almost the shoe. He needs to get some more Cameron Streeter fancy shoes. I'd like to see maybe some fluoro green, fluoro orange. Good hands there by Robinson to pick it up. Just that pitch just a little bit out front.
Is it the what shoes? Is that it? Well, you say it's fancy shoes. I'm pretty sure he's the gentleman who has gold soles on his shoes.
Gold soles. Okay, maybe that's why I saw a flag before. Well,
Yeah, look at that.
Okay, well, the second he gets gold shoelaces, then I'll talk to him, so no problem.
You're all about above the shoe action,
It's
aren't you?
above the shoe. Nice little reverse pivot there. Good kick-out blocking.
It's got to be the boots. Surely it's the cleats. If I get cleats like that, you reckon I'll run like that?
Be very nice. Now, Robinson having a rest now.
And 3rd and 1. A well-earned break. And
Is that Enzo Bertucci back
It
there in the
is.
running back?
he wants to get a carry. He'll get a carry. He'll get met at the line and fall forward. Plenty of people blocking all the way to the whistle. And he's got his team a first down. On your Enzo.
Look out. Are they running behind? No, Sam Kenner's on the left, so they decided to run right. Just blocked down. I thought he got stopped right there, but he's done the big lean forward.
Yeah, in contrast to the play 2 plays ago, he actually gets over Ashley Raven.
13 seconds to go. I see the clock running on my screen.
Charge team timeout, All Stars.
All Stars going to take a second to talk about this, and I'll let that clock run down all the way to the 3-second mark. So here it is. But I tell you what, one team has made a knack for scoring before halftime. The All Stars have achieved that. They did that with Thomas Jeeves not too long ago. But I tell you what, so did WA with Lockie Pink
Absolutely.
with that miraculous catch. Geez, actually, and then now that I think about it, Queensland did it too with Jet Bond against Victoria. So all the teams seem to love to find a way to score before the halftime hooter.
And that is excellent, but just feel free to score at any time. You don't have to wait till 3 seconds to go in the game.
You don't have to
Or
back
in the
up.
half, I should say.
I mean, it makes my job fun, but you don't have to wait that long.
This has been great from both teams, though. You can see some really good action happening from the All Stars and WA. There's just been a couple of
Say
11.
NWA.
Sorry, Kenny, we're just getting. It's 11 seconds. 11 seconds to go.
Time correction. 11 seconds.
All Stars have 1 timeout left. WA have all 3.
What this does mean is that they can probably take a couple of failed pass attempts.
Yep.
Assuming they're not intercepted, of course. Probably have time at least for 3.
Or James Mikulev 150-yard run laterally.
And I think it'll take a little more than 11 seconds. So if he does that, he better score. Mikulev, speaking of the man, he's the one behind the centre. They'll
WA
trust
send the blitz.
Belducci straightens and goes forward. Trucks forward for a touchdown on his second carry right in front of us here. Trucks through the WA defence and adds another score on the board for the All-Stars.
I'm just imagining now Enzo Bellucci going back to the huddle going, Harrison Lacey, see that? I scored. Jimmy, see that? I scored. Everyone's going to get... It'd be great if the All-Stars, everyone got a touch and everybody can get a score.
And I was panicking for a second. Thought it might have been Gil Ellicott, but definitely is Belducci. Jeez, where's that been all game? They decided to keep him a linebacker.
Oh, yeah. Whose decision was that? Coach Long going for the 2-point conversion.
Thompson's back in.
Yeah,
Belducci's done his shift. This will make it 18-16.
Big Jimmy.
He does his best interpretation or an
He's
impersonation.
Yep, give him the signal, the
Belducci.
touchdown signal, and that's 2-point conversion.
Adds 2.
This will be a great angle. Here we go, live stream Brisbane. Yeah, good job there.
Getting over the line. 2 points, the likely difference before halftime.
I'll tell you what, Josh, that the cameraman, Josh, almost knows football. He's standing on the end zone line there. That's pretty good. That's not a bad job.
Yeah, sounds like we're getting challenged. Yes.
Hey, here we are.
We get a contracted close-up, 1 per game. Moving to halftime.
Yeah, Josh,
here.
open your iris.
Looking good here on Good
No
Friday.
paparazzi. 5 seconds to go. All Stars 16, WA 18. Just take it to the house and we'll be right.
Well, who's this bringing it back for him? And he will
Oh.
cop a shot from Rakura. And that was Jerry Venturis with 1 touchdown already today. And I think that might be halftime. Indeed it is. So upon that kick return, that closes out the action for the first half. The All-Stars bring it back to a 2-point game. The Raiders do currently lead though, 18 points to 16. in these two teams' final games of the 2019 AGL. We'll take a short 12-minute break for hot time, and we will be back shortly, both here at Narrabeen and on the stream.
You play my favorite song, fall up, yeah. You play my favorite song, fall up, yeah. You play my favorite music,
let us dance. People just don't care. Can you hear me? Take your hands, put them in the air. Can you hear me? Let us dance. People just don't care.
You play my favorite song, fall up, yeah. You play my favorite song, fall up, yeah.
Can you hear me? Take your hands, put them in the air. Can you hear me? Let us dance. People just don't care.
You play my favorite song, fall up, yeah. You play my favorite song, fall up, yeah.
Can you hear me? Take your care.
You play my favorite song, Fall Up. Yeah. You play my favorite song, Fall Up. Yeah. You play my favorite song, Fall Up. Yeah.
In the air, can you hear me? Let us dance. People just don't care. Can you hear me? Take your hands, put them in the air. Can you hear me? Let us dance. People just don't care. Can you hear me? Take your hands, put them in the air. Can you hear me? Let us dance. People just don't care. Can you hear me? Take your hands, put them in the air. Can you hear me? Let us dance. People just don't care. Can you hear me? Take your hands, put them in the air. Can you hear me? Let us dance. People just don't care. Can you hear me?
Oh, Coach. Welcome back, streamers, and those who are watching here at the Sydney Academy of Sports and Recreation here in Narrabeen on the northern beaches of Sydney. Coach, we just saw some vision there of the Western Australian Raiders bench. Jeez, I think it was number 62. Cedric Haycock, you've become my new favourite player, man. That was awesome.
There were some excellent dance moves I thought that they were doing on the sideline. But they know they're up by 2 points. WA 18, All-Stars 16, ready to kick off for the third. Kenny, I was out on the ground. It is extremely hard to see with this sort of sun haze of the afternoon. You can see the shadows coming across the field. Anybody who's going to try and... You can see Thomas Jeeves right now shielding his eyes. This is going to be a hard ball to catch.
Yep, not to kick to him though. They go to Jimmy Thompson. Thompson with a bit of time cuts it back. He's got no blockers, so he's going to have to do it himself, and he cops a shot there from Zane Grigorovich.
Love the name. It's a football name. Zane Grigorovich there just sussing out. You can see he's setting it up, trying to set up the blocks, and then he's going to come up the field. And you can see the head pop back there. He whips his head back and forth, I believe the song went.
It did. What a one-hit wonder that was. Tell you what, that was one hit, and that was wonderful.
Just a nice shoulder in there, good job. But yeah, Kenny, as I was saying, is it won't be a problem for the All-Stars. It will be a problem for the Raiders. Is that that sun is really playing havoc if you're going to catch a pass. Not just the sunlight, but the sort of sun haze of the afternoon. It's very, I don't know how you'd say it, but misty is probably the word I'd say, because you're going to have to really concentrate for that football.
Apologies there. Oh, I've just coughed our screen and a monitor. There
Didn't
we go.
we just buy a $500 new cord?
And this is the battle for 5th place here between the 5th and 6th seeded teams, All-Stars and the
Big
WA
Jimmy.
Raiders. Jimmy Thompson looking to make up for some of his errors in the first half. Picks his team up a first down on his first carry of the second half.
Jimbrowski there on the carry. He's done a really good job of stepping up since Lacey's injury. We haven't seen Lacey come back since, was it the first quarter? The second quarter?
I'm trying to look, see if I can see him standing on the sideline. Can't see his blue helmet, but I also can't see him with kid off and ice up. So
I think he might be on the bench over there. I think he might be done.
could be the case. First down and 10, All-Stars chasing a 2-point lead of the Raiders. Mikulev gets out of the pocket, throws it away. If you want to call it intended, it was intended for Robinson there. There's
Coach Rowdy there on the sideline, and Brant Honda there with a folded paper.
That's actually Torrin, believe it or not.
Sorry, my apologies.
Torrin, and they're no longer rocking the scarf. Usually his thing, I think it's gotten a bit hot for him.
Or he's on the watch list for Asia.
One of the two. He was nice enough to give you some time pre-game and have a solid chat about the learning curve it has been for a lot of these players. Mikulev even just shading his eyes there as he tries to assess the defense.
Connor McFillin coming off the edge.
And here goes Jimmy. Jimmy's got space. Jimmy's got space and he's racing away. Flags are down. He beats the last couple of defenders, but is taken down at the 1.
Number 19, Ryan Evans there, got the big don't argue from Jimmy. You can tell he's got a rugby league background. Let's see if we can get, this will be a great camera angle for the flag. Oh, that's going to be on the defense, I think, Kenny. There's definite face masking or helmet grabbing from WA. This could be against WA. We'll wait for the call.
That could be one of the longest runs of the tournament. Of course, Montel Wick's run got killed back.
Oh, big don't argue from Jimmy. Wait till you see that on the replay, ladies and gentlemen, when you watch this at home.
Of holding number 2 on the offense, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay second down.
Flinders, Cameron. Well, we saw it. Thought it was a.
I'm not going to say anything, Kenny, because
Yeah.
I'll get in trouble.
I have to admit, I think I'm going to stay silent
Here we
with
go.
you.
Oh, I can see, Kenny. So look, basically for me is the right hand was fine. There was really nice holding. It was the left hand that was outside of the shoulder blade there. So that's a good call from the referee there. I couldn't see that left hand outside. I thought it was actually going to go against WA because there was a lot of helmet play, shall we say. But the referee had a much better view than we did with that left hand. So that's a shame. Brought the big run back. I think we had a really great run from Victoria last night.
Montel Wick, which was brought back by a
Illegal
formation
formation.
penalty, yeah. Too many men in the backfield, which it's been an interesting. Usually we're used to seeing passes be called back in these tournaments. There's actually been a lot of the running plays that have been called back. Mikulev rolling to his left, avoiding Raven, throwing downfield, trying to get Jeeves, but the coverage is too good, and that is the birthday boy, Ryan Evans.
16-year-old Ryan Evans there on the birthday bat down. Jeeves, a good spot for the James, putting it up really nicely here for Jeeves. You can see is that Flinders Cameron coming across the middle. You can't miss him. He's like 6'6", coming across the middle with his hand up saying throw it to me, but hopefully one of the coaches saw it and they might go back to that a little bit later on. 3rd and about 5. 10 minutes 31 to go in the 3rd. West Australia going with a 3-down lineman.
There's Mikulev.
Pressure.
Hands off to Thompson, who has to spin out of a tackle immediately, and it's young Birch eventually wrestling him to the turf.
Sebastian Birch there on the tackle. Very nice job. Just got in a big pause there, you can see. Right over the nose guard. Nice little job there by Birch too. He was the nose guard, went to the left to the A gap, spun back around to the opposite B gap and made the tackle. Really nice job. Good heads up football play. 4th and 5. 4th and 6. Quarterback James still in there.
And 4th down, yeah. They're taking their time here. I'm sure the referee will give them a hurry up when necessary, but Mikulev will have trouble fielding the snap. He's hoping Thompson's got it, but I haven't seen any celebrations from either side.
It really doesn't matter who's got it. Well, who's down now? This is dangerous. I don't like these low snaps at all because that's putting in players down on the ground around the ankles and the knees positions there.
And yeah, you're right. It didn't really matter, given it was 4th down. So ultimately, WA Raiders, they'll take over now. They'll have an opportunity to try and put more space between themselves and the All-Stars.
Coach Luke Middleton there giving some instruction on the sideline.
Did I see him in crutches yesterday? As Lockie Pink gets a screen to the outside. He uses a stiff arm, picks up a 1st down. Making the tackle there. That time it's Symington again.
Is that Jack Poole on the tackle? Bring down? Number 3?
It is indeed. No, it's Jack. Yeah, Jack Popel.
Jack Popel, sorry, Jack Popel.
Yeah, but he picked up an intercept, I think, in game 1 in South Australia.
Nice bring down.
Has been a bit of a learning curve for him. He plays quarterback at the junior level. And a pass for Lockie Pink is picked up and dropped right in front of us here.
Lockie Pink coming up a little slowly after that catch. Just great ball. I think the ball was perfect. Just put out to the outside. He really threw it to that, what I call it, between the numbers and the sideline. Thrown it out wide.
I think Kevin Ford might have a crush on Marcus Westlake there. Lingering on the quarterback there, watching for any late hits. That's what
I think that Westlake, that was a great throw from him. He's just got to get the receivers out there. Looking again.
Bull darts this, but it's picked off. Who else? Will Symington. He's down
Will Remington
to the
steal.
20 and the 10. No one near him, and he'll cross the goal line, flag free. The All-Stars, they get the next score on the board, this time via their defensive unit.
Will he? Yes, he will. Look at this. Just jumps in front, uses the 1,800-foot wingspan, and look at that form running there. Down the sideline.
See Will Symington here, he's been lurking, he's been
He'll
playing.
be coming just from the left side of his screen.
And he's usually been playing the receiver rather than the ball. With fair play, he's led to a lot of good tackles. This time, chances his hand, goes for the ball on the flat route, and comes away with 6 points.
Also, I just want to give a shout out there to Curtis Madeira, is it? The number 3 for Western Australia. didn't give up, and that's what you want to see there is, yes, the ball was picked, but he tried to chase him down all the way, so that's a great little bit of heart, a little bit of ticker there from Curtis, number 3, for W8.
Oldfield looking to blitz off the edge. But he will cover, and they'll go to Jimmy Thompson, and Thompson will be stopped short. No 2-point conversion here. 4 points is what separates the All-Stars and the Western Australia Raiders. However, this time in favour of the All-Stars.
Connor McPhillan just getting up a little slow there, number 80 for the Raiders. 8 minutes 53 left in the third.
They're in a bit of a powwow there with a couple of teammates. Connor McPhillan with that Perth Blitz helmet and that hair coming out of the back of it, getting serious
locks.
Yeah, Kavanagh vibes off him.
Channeling the Kavanagh.
Ben Metcalf, usually the other bookend to that dynamic duo from 2 years ago.
There's another great shot there, Kenny. You can just see those shadows now really forming on the ground, and that afternoon sunset haze shouldn't be a factor too long, for a couple of more minutes for fourth quarter.
I think it's part of the reason why the National Championship is being played closer to noon tomorrow to try and take that factor out of it.
Lockie Pink, number 14.
He's pure entertainment for us, isn't
dance.
he? Flinders Cameron. Nice kick.
Off two-step.
And that far side is Grigorovich. Usually that would be Youngfree, but I think Youngfree might still be nursing that shoulder injury from the Lacey touchdown earlier in this game.
Really nice job there, I think, from number 44, is it? Might be Gillick, 43 there. Just shedding the block and then getting down to make the tackle. That's what you want from a special teamer. There's Big Sam Kennan, number 77 there. Standing next to Will Clode. A lot of these guys, again, as we said, playing both ways. Defensive line, offensive line.
Quick throw from Westlake. Westlake hits Pink underneath. He's looking for blockers, but now he's got a bunch of green defenders in front of him. Spins, turns, and eventually gets taken down at the 34.
Just giving props to Curtis Madeira there for the chase down, but he's got to do a better job of blocking out here. If he just stays with that one person and block, then we're fine, but he released him, which then left Lockie Pink nowhere to go. Again, just a quick pass out for Westlake, the quarterback.
See, a lot of quarterbacks nowadays really, in the NFL I'm referring to, really make their money on those quick outside receivers. I think about Jimmy Garoppolo, very, very good at it. He was back in Northwestern as well. University of Illinois, I think it was. Regardless, at college level, unbelievable. As Westlake rolls out, throws to Pink. Pink looking for some work after the catch, and he does enough to get a first down. And
first down. Another good job here of Westlake rolling out to the right, keeping his eyes downfield. That's a great throw because basically put it to where he wanted Lockie Pink to go. The corner was over there with him, so he threw it inside. Lockie Pink could go inside.
And there's some progression. You talked about him wanting to lead receivers to a better position.
Absolutely.
There's a sign of him learning and progressing. Their leading receiver, Lockie Pink, now near side to your screen. But they will dump it off to Grigorovich. Grigorovich bounces out of the first would-be tackler and advances the ball past the 40 on first down. And that'll make it about 2nd and 8, maybe 9.
I don't think this is the first Will Lamington tackle. I think he's missed the whole tournament.
Shame on him.
Oh, he's cut.
He's only tackling at an efficiency of about 97.5%.
Nice little play here from WA, just trying to get to the outside.
And Ethan Rakura eventually finishing off as well. Let's see if he can.
Rakura is one of those names we just call occasionally, but geez, he's having a good tournament.
When we do those, usually with plenty of excitement. Westlake looking for the seam, almost getting picked off there by Jack Popel. Looking to add another intercept to his tournament stats.
We've mentioned his name a couple of times in this quarter. Just calm. Look at the passing alley we've got there. Just you can see the arm strength. You can see the speed of the ball. It's just the accuracy for for Westlake, the quarterback. Spins the ball, gets his feet set. Right idea. He's just got to work on his accuracy. He's a young quarterback. Four minutes 20 left in this third.
Westlake with 3 touchdowns, under pressure, immediately taken down. Immediately. The defensive end coming off the left-hand side of his formation, waiting for a number. Actually, it's a blitzing linebacker. It's of course, it's Enzo Balducci.
Enzo.
He's already got a touchdown on the ground on the offense side of the ball. Now he adds a sack on his defensive resume.
Just nice dial up there from the All-Stars there, keeping the offensive line busy while the outside linebacker crept up.
Now they put him on a big hole there on 4th down. So Bailey Beckingham is back to punt. He's punting in lieu of Jacques Flozat.
Floza, the flow.
Flozat obviously maybe not quite passing that concussion test we spoke about earlier. But Beckingham is certainly doing a great job in his stead. Mark that inside the 20. And no dramas.
Again, nice job. Drop punt there. I thought the All-Stars rusher there. Was that Ryan Worsley again? I thought he was going to get there for the block, but just pulled up just in time. But it was a great kick for WA. All-Stars 22, WA 18. 3 minutes and 9 seconds left in the third. It'll be 1st and 10 for the All-Stars. Let's see who comes out, whether it's going to be James Mikulev or is it going to be Christopher Wilkins?
See if this rotation continues. I think I'm seeing Mikulev behind center. That I am, along with Robinson. But Robinson splits out to the right slot outside of Lachlan McLaren. Flinders Cameron, the widest receivers out of that trip bunch. They'll roll that direction. No one's open. Mikulev buys a little more time. Almost intercepted. Charlie Reed, who's been playing everywhere for these Raiders, almost came away with an INT.
Tyler Williams almost had a touchdown on this, Kenny. Have a look. If he gets up the field here, you can see he turns and goes. That's who James is trying to throw to. If James puts a little bit more pepper on it, gives a little bit more height, he's open for a touchdown because he is behind everybody.
Flinders Cameron, you see him trying to jet away, but I think throwing on the run there widened that throw. It's skill in itself, being able to throw on the run.
Absolutely. But right idea there. And you can see James hidden behind Jimmy on the roll right. Trips out to the right.
Yeah, I think you're right. Tyler Williams, my apologies. The red helmets got me confused. Williams, Robinson, right side wide receivers, but they will go to the backside man in Jeeves. Pass incomplete, and now they've got 3rd and long.
You see, just setting up, they were on the left hash there, Kenny, and trips to the right, the wide side of the field. Oh no, sorry, they're on the right hash. Sorry, left hash, and basically just trying to use the field to see if that slant pass was there to the single side receiver. That's a fantastic job. Who's that? Is that 19? Is that Ryan Evans for Western Australia? That is an awesome job there, recognising that really that's the only route he's going to run. So he decided to jump that. Really nice job from the cornerback from WA.
And a counter play here for the All-Stars. Jimmy is back, and Jimmy is running, and Jimmy is being tackled and taken down at the All-Stars 35. Late flag as...
I love it, Kenny. You're talking as Jimmy is the third person.
Oh, the Jimmy
gets
great.
the ball. The Jimmy is running.
The Jimmy is good.
Something happening there at the end of the play, right at the end of the play. Just running off the left side there.
Oh man, Greg Evers about to relay the information or the decision made.
We have a horse collar on the defense, 15 yards from the end of the run. First down.
Horse collar penalty being called. And I had Stacey Spear explain this a couple of days ago, but why don't you take us through that penalty again?
Well, basically, it's one of those penalties I sort of don't like because it's a post-safety penalty. And basically what we're trying to do is say you can't bring anybody down by the back of the neck. You can see right there. Oh, yeah, okay, there we go. So what they found out was a lot of knee injuries, hamstring injuries, ankle injuries were happening because that people were being brought down by the back of the pads. Now, look, as far as I'm concerned,
Incomplete.
the penalty is the right penalty, but it should be just illegal anyway because you're penalising against a safety issue that's already happened. So a person's going to get injured no matter what, whether it be the 15-yard penalty or not. So fix the horse collar.
We create those collars that angle the other way.
Oh, look at now, the skin-tight jerseys, the linemen will love that, that's for sure. 4 minutes and 18 seconds left in the third. All teams with 3 timeouts left. 2nd and 10.
And Mikalev will catch them all offside. But is it a false start?
Offside on the defense. 5 yards from the previous spot. Remain second down.
They certainly might be up there with the most entertaining bench, the WA Raiders.
I think they're going to get 5 AMs tomorrow because the coaches, it's a penalty against them and they're dancing. If the penalty against the other team, then you dance. But there are some definite dancing skills and definite singing skills and rapping skills. I got a chance to judge the Western Australian Talent Night the other night.
Who won that one?
That was a fantastic job by the receivers, I believe, the receiving call. They did a roasting rap, where they basically just picked on everybody on the team and did a rap about it, and it was very, very funny. And I think coming in second was the offensive line.
Damn right it should be. Often the most entertaining bunch. Second down. Jimmy Thompson is finding some more space. Is racing the rest of the Raiders to the end zone. Will they take him down in time? That's a negative. Jimmy Thompson manages to streak away for another touchdown.
I'll tell you what, if you're watching this Jimmy Thompson, you need to buy this person an icy pole. Who is that, number 16 from the All-Stars? Is that Lachlan McLaren? Lachlan McLaren, number 16. That is the block that sprang. Here you go, right in the middle here. You're going to see him come across. That is the block that sprang your running back for the touchdown. Really nice job there. Jimmy just went with a hand up there and rumbles into the end zone. By McLaren coming in, he brought the slot in there, which created the space on the outside. Oh, that's a sensational block too. That's Flinders Cameron as well. Just good blocking all around. And the 2-point conversion.
There's the replay of the 2-point conversion.
And no surprises there, just run behind number 77, Big Sam Kenner. And just drive it in the end zone. That takes the score to All-Stars 30, Western Australia 18, with 3 minutes and 34 seconds left on the
Try's
clock.
good.
I just wanted to discuss that, but Jimmy Thompson picking up another touchdown. Another 2-point conversion, sorry.
I can see why they wanted to have a quick look at that. It was quite close to the line, but he just got over. Some excellent blocking there. 2-point conversion again, just having a look. Just kick out there, nice drive there. That's Jake Parfitt as well. He's having a blinder of a tournament, I think. He's doing really well with playing like Sam Kenner, or defensive line and offensive line.
And
Jake Parfitt from the Knights down in Tasmania.
Flinders Cameron back to get us underway. And returning that now, I think it's O'Halloran. O'Halloran looking for space. O'Halloran breaking through the line. like a can of sardines, but the kicker Flinders Cameron will prevent the touchdown. A fantastic return, though, taking them well into All-Stars territory.
Breaking through the line like a can of sardines.
Or should we say it's opening it up?
Okay, gotcha. I wasn't quite sure where you're going with that. That's a nice close-up there. Well done to the camera crew there. Holding, that's a great field position. 1st and 10 for the Raiders. Let's see what we've got here. We've got trips out to the left. And let's see what the offensive coordinators have got dialed up. 3 minutes 23 left to go in the quarter.
Lockie Pink in the left slot, and that's not who they're aiming for. They're trying to get that out to Jack. Nope. Out to Curtis Madeira. And still a close game. I said only 3 minutes left in the third quarter. A whole nother quarter to play after this. And you're seeing the sun easing up almost towards our end zone, which I believe is the east end zone, but you can see the crowd now.
Car park end, Kenny.
They often retreat to the top of the grandstand at this time, but
you
now
can see up the top there.
a few people now have managed to come down with the shade coverage. Trips left again. As a note, it's a fake bubble screen. It's a bit of a wheel. Westlake climbs the pocket and now will run for a couple yards and end up picking up 5 for the Raiders.
Three minutes, clock is running.
Delafranca again, there to protect his quarterback.
Oh,
but
big Sam Kenner.
That's a tough matchup with Sam Kenner.
Big Sam Kenner coming almost through untouched there, but then trying to have to run away, and he has to try and chase.
My next to one, I'm sure you'll learn to couple up. Probably the only way you'll take down a man of that size.
Curtis Madeira, receiver, coming across the middle there.
Westlake throwing to his left over the top, in and out of the hands of Kiffin Gibbs.
Ethan Rakura there on the coverage.
Proven to be a solid covered guy. 2 picks last game. But we currently see 3rd and 6 ahead of the Raiders with 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Ball on the 30.
Yep, 4th and 6 and going for it.
Westlake, one shoulder shrug, looks for Pink. Pink wins the jump ball as he's done so often this tournament and takes the Raiders inside the 10 and right in front of us here in the booth.
Really nice, just a simple jump ball here. Saw something, it's just one-on-one. Go up and get so close there for the cornerback not to get it, and then Rakura comes over. I think Rakura did strip that ball out there. Right at the end, you'll see the ball comes out. Lockie Pink recovers it, but is this a fumble? No, close
down.
there. Either way, he came back up with it.
He gets close, he does try to rip it out. I think he's clear. Delafranca protecting the left side of Westlake. Westlake will roll to the right. Where's his receivers? He throws across his body and throws his ball away. Pink was the only one in the vicinity of it. Incomplete.
Didn't like it. Heads up move there. Just threw it out the back of the end zone. Great to see another famous down chain crew again. Vinny McGillo there, legend from the Raiders. Andrew Burundu there, and is that Nathan Long? Gee, I think the combined age of the chain crew is about 150. But some legends of the game, legend coaches, legend players there. Thanks for coming out, guys, and supporting. Great to see Vinny McGillo again, especially from the 99 World Cup and the 1998 Hawaii Tour.
All this history still given back to the game. Westlake moves Delafranca to the right. 3 receivers to his left. He'll throw for Delafranca, or was it in fact for his wide receiver in number 27, Bailey Beckingham. In any case, fails to hit either.
I call this suspect motion in the backfield because it just looks sus. Not sure where we're going for that, whether it was a floater for the running back or it was trying to hit Beckingham.
Getting some real kind service to us here in the booth. Westlake. Collingwood clearly doesn't like what he's been given, but there is a sack on the play by the man we were just talking about moments ago, Ethan Rakura.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I've just tried my first ever Frappuccino and it's absolutely disgusting. That's
kind of
terrible.
you.
I would like to thank Matt Steele and Gridiron Australia for supplying me with a taste of a Frappuccino, but it is absolutely terrible.
Here's the fun thing. I'm actually lactose intolerant, fun fact, but I do love me a frap. And we're close to the end of this game, so taking my chances.
And the millions around the world want to know that. Great pressure there.
I'm running out of facts, Coach.
4th and goal. 1 minute and 15 seconds with the clock running. All Stars 30, Western Australia 18. WA looking to get it in here.
Still chasing now, and there's a fade to the end zone. It's Lockie Pink.
He's right here.
Pink is right on the goal line.
He's right here.
Throws his hands up, and Lachlan Pink, he's picked up 3 touchdowns.
Have a look at the arrows there. Wait till you see this on the replay, ladies and gentlemen. I hope they got the celebration. It's a great jump ball. Just goes in there.
Flags are down, though.
We do have a flag in the end zone.
We might have missed the celebration that he will probably be flagged for.
That is a completed catch. There's whips out the arrow, shoots one, whips out the arrow, shoots one. That
look,
is gold.
He's going to cop that, but I like it.
I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to call him now McCringleberry.
Hingle McCringleberry.
McCringleberry, because the celebrations. 1 pump, 2 pump, 3 pump.
I shouldn't be endorsing this, but can't say I'm not entertained.
Of a dead ball foul, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 14 on the offence. Touchdown will stand, penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. That is number 14's first unsportsmanlike conduct for the game.
He's got one more in him, and there's Beans to work. There, the coffee crew here.
The coffee crew's here. The beans to work for my first ever Frappuccino. Thank you very much. I'll never have another one again.
Giving us a wave.
But I just don't do coffee. I'm sure they do other stuff. Hot chocolate. I love a hot chocolate though.
You do love your hot chocolate. A roll out here from Westlake, just aiming for the back of the end zone. This one's intercepted by Rakura. Rakura is going to try and return this for 2. Don't think he'll get there, but it's a great effort. Takes it out to the 21. And WA now only chasing 6 points.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you give Rakura props there? He wants to go and get 2 points. So if he returned it here, it would be 2 points for the All-Stars. But yeah, quite hilarious on the play before with McCringleberry with the arrow. They've obviously practiced that one, the bow and arrow.
Sorry, that's Gil Ellicott. My apologies, Gil. I just can't seem to get your name right this tournament.
Gee, isn't it great that Gil's running that well after the injury the other night there? I think he almost had to go to the hospital. I'm not sure if he did, but he had severe ankle sprain, and that's come back very nicely.
Sorry, Gil. And I take my props back to you, Ethan.
Oh, so Rakura's been doing nothing all game.
It's Gil Ellicott who almost took that back.
Again with the fast clock, so we've got 50-something seconds and running. 1st and 10, or not 1st and 10, but they're about to kick the ball off.
And obviously you can see them being moved back. And we're getting...
He's coming back, Paul, he's coming back from getting a coffee. That's why the shot's like that, because he's got the coffee in his left hand from Beans to work. All Stars 30, WA 24. All 3 timeouts left.
That's Bailey Beckenham. Looking to sort of course, the All-Stars moved back all the way to the 15, following the 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct called on the Raiders. We might be able to get another look at that. We shouldn't be endorsing it, but in any case, Robinson returning the ball with a great field position already, still looking for space, and he eventually is tackled around the Raiders 35.
You're going to see back here on the replay for those watching at home. This is the replay of the touchdown, and we'll probably get the excessive celebration from McCringleberry. Just an easy, quick jump ball to the end zone there. Confirm the touchdown and get straight up. There's the first bow. Oh, that's terrible overacting.
There's only 2 of them there.
Terrible
There's
overacting
3
by the
pumps.
first player because he obviously fell down before he got shot.
Flinders Cameron, near side wide receiver. And here comes Jimmy Thompson again. And Birch eventually comes over the top, cleaning him up. And
Birch is doing a good job at the middle there.
Matthew Waters was the initial tackler, though, getting underneath him.
Snap again, just a little low. Good job from Chris Wilkins there.
Matthew Waters, I don't know if he was a D-line linebacker, but he was listed as D-line coming to this tournament. So if that's the case, well done to be able to make the shift to a 2-point stance and do what your team needed you to do.
Absolutely.
And throwing a quick one to Robinson. Robinson gets out of bounds, and this will bring up 3rd down, maybe 4. And this 3rd down conversion will be attempted in the 4th quarter. That is the end of the 3rd quarters. 3 quarters down here in the 5th versus 6th playoff game here in the 2019 AGL, hashtag JNAS 2019, where the All-Stars lead the Raiders 30 points to 24.
And Kenny, what's your name for Super Saturday? What's
Natty Satty.
Natty Satty?
See if we can get that trending.
I don't know why. See,
Yeah, you make fun of me, but I'm telling you, tonight you'll accidentally refer to it as Natty Satty.
Natty Satty. All right. I think this is a great job here too. Is both coaches, both teams still in it. It's a fun game. Some good scoring, good jumping, good catching, good running. Hasn't been any really flagrant unsportsmanlike conducts other than the horse collar.
And there also hasn't been any easy turnovers, which has been good, and it's been improvement, particularly for the Western Australia Raiders.
Yep, absolutely.
So, good improvement over the course of 24 hours. And we didn't have to wait 23 game minutes to get a touchdown.
And I think what I'm feeling, what I saw at lunch as well, and what I'm seeing on the ground today, is just true spirit of the game. Both teams loving to play the game. Yes, they want to win, but they just enjoy playing the game. So looking after themselves, looking after each other.
Pointing out, identifying the mic there is number 63, Jake Parfitt, playing at left guard. He'll do a good job sealing a block, but his man actually makes the tackle. Good job at getting underneath them is big 51.
Is that Matthew Waters there for number 91?
No, I think it might have been
I can't
51,
quite tell.
Adam
51?
Parker.
Adam Parker, that is a sensational job.
Yeah, left defensive tackle position.
It's a great job of getting, Adam Parker there, great job of getting low. Stuffing that run from the line of scrimmage.
Now, what's interesting here as well.
Sorry, Kenny, fourth down and 4.
On the left end there, you can see Allison. Obviously, we've seen him play a lot of left tackle. Now he's going to line up on defensive end, probably out of necessity, but he's got a pretty good build for a defensive end regardless. So, let's see if he can't generate anything on this key 4th down.
He's on the tight end side, and he can get that big paw up as well.
And it's a bad snap, and, well, maybe a bit of a lack of awareness there for Wilkins. That was 4th down.
It was 4th and 4.
And yeah, I mean, it's one thing to take that on a 2nd, a 1st, hell, even a 3rd down, but on 4th down there, you might want to make something happen with it.
Just situational awareness.
And just getting word into my mic here, a big shout out to Nathan Cope, I believe it is, who's assisting us with down and distance. The officials have adopted the Queensland officials' philosophy of having someone on the sideline relaying the down and distance, hence why we can get you much more accurate information on our screen. Westlick and Della Franca with a carry here.
So what you're telling me, Kenny, is that we've worked out something the day before we end, and it's really, really good.
Well, it's the day before the championship.
Exactly right.
Cup half full.
So this championship game tomorrow is going to be awesomely broadcast by Livestream Brisbane. because we'll have
Totally
everything stuff sorted out.
Totally awesome. Delafranca at tailback. Lockie Pink at slot. Madeira the other slot. They'll throw to Pink though. Pink feeling the effects of fatigue. Lets it get away from him.
No, I don't know if feeling fatigue, mate, but I'll tell you what, he just wants to get the ball and get upfield. So it's one of those things where I think Coach Wolf and myself, we're quite angry at him there. But you've got to catch the ball first before you get upfield. He just wanted to get up the field too quick. I mean, he makes a great catch down here in the end zone, jump ball like that, but you give him a nice pass and he's going to drop it. 3rd and 8.
In spread formation, 2x2. Westlake's got a clean pocket and hits his man underneath. Flags are thrown around the line of scrimmage. I think that might be the touchdown scorer. Bringing that in, that is Jerry Venturis.
It's Jack Popel there cramping up, I think, on the ground. Just holding the calf.
See Sam Kenner getting a takedown there. And I'm hearing a chop block. That might explain why Sam Kenner's down.
Oh, it's a high-low illegal there. Yes, absolutely.
It was a great example of what a chop block is. We've seen that called
We have
a
a
couple
chop
times.
block on 61 and 66 on the offense. 15 yards from the previous spot. Replay 3rd down.
Now, we've seen this called a couple times this tournament and haven't been able to quite get a replay that really explains the situation. That was a fantastic replay. It shows what a replay is. Matter of fact, we might get it right now, but for those who wonder what a chop block is, just look at the big yellow helmet here.
In the green.
And look at the two men who block him. One high, one low. If one's engaged up top, the other defender cannot attack his legs. That's what we call a chop block. And
You can have a double high, you can have a double low, but you can't have one. This is going to be a great angle here. Number 77 in the green here, so you'll see the centre, number 61, he'll go low, and number 66, he goes high, and that right there is illegal, mainly due to a safety issue, Kenny. And finding you get a lot of injuries as Sam is now being taken off the field, and that's exactly why the penalty is.
Can I say hello to my wife in Townsville? Jimmy Thompson's mum.
Jimmy Thompson, all right.
Thanks, mate.
Getting a shout out here from the Jimmy Thompson family. Just wanted to shout out to Jimmy Thompson's mum.
Oh, so somebody's
Back
in Townsville and mum's been left in Townsville.
I can respect that. Fair enough. Getting through Jimmy Thompson's mum who's watching in, but Lockie Pink's family will be cheering right about now. Another grab to the young man. And
what's happened here? There's a strip.
well, the All-Stars sideline was
Ethan
celebrating.
Rakura, don't tell me he's done something again, but I heard a whistle.
And this was Ethan Rakura, not Gil Ellicott.
I'm waiting for the camera.
I
Oh,
think
that
he's-
is a fumble. That is a strip.
We do not see the knees there, but it looks on initial viewing that Rakura definitely has a case, but flags are also down.
Gee, that's a nice job there of Rakura, just getting that arm in there. Really good catch there. He's got the catch. Corner's on.
When's his knee touch the turf? Ironic. We can't see on the footage there.
I reckon that
Inconclusive.
possibly the other angle's going to be a better one, but it did look like Rakura has a case there, but I mean, again, it happens in real time.
For personal foul, number 63 on the defense. 15 yards from the end of the run, automatic 1st down.
Well, they're not going to call it a touchdown, and on top of that, insult to injury, they're going to cop a penalty, the All-Stars. So a nice positive movement for this offense. The catch there from Pink. On top of that, a further 10 yards. And we are inside the final 10 minutes now with Western Australia only trailing by 6. Have a drive now in possession and looking to at least tie the ball game up.
This would be a great drive here for WA. This is exactly what you want in a playoff game.
Westlake over the middle. He's got his man Madeira. He's breaking through the two safeties and takes it inside the 15. The Raiders now have a red zone opportunity.
Gee, Marcus there with a really nice patient throw. Really good route combo there. Really nice. Just a great pass. to Curtis Madeira there. This will be a great angle. You can see him just come in. Gil Ellicott there just turned around the wrong way. WA staying with the spread.
3 out to the left. He's throwing to his underneath man in Kiffin Gibbs. He's fighting hard, gets his ball inside the tent.
Seeing Marcus Westlake, the quarterback, just getting a little bit more confidence now. He's stepping up. That was a great throw before. This is a perfect throw here. Just swinging it out to the side. Let's see if he can keep going. James Micallef there on the corner on the tackle.
And this time, 3 men go out to the right side of the line, the open side of the field. Watch Lockie Pink in the slot. He will not get him. He'll go to Madeira.
He's still
Madeira's
fighting.
Still fighting. He's lost the ball, and that's Ethan Rakura, I think. He couldn't get it down the other end. This time he gets it defending his own end zone.
He's everywhere.
No, it is.
It is.
Saw a 7th.
Will Remington Steele was in there, but Rakura, he just wants that ball. We saw him strip it out before. He said, watch me. I'm going to do it again. That's a great job. Look, he goes in for the blitz and he backs out. Look at that. Rip the ball out of there. And then all of a sudden the All-Stars have to start turning into offense and start blocking.
And once again, to talk about possible sport transitions, I think a lot of rugby and rugby league players get so stoked when they realise they can rip the ball out whenever they want.
Yes, yeah, and it doesn't matter how many's in the tackle.
Exactly right. But he's just proven here that he's a defensive playmaker.
Absolutely.
Whether he's picking them off on the sideline or whether he's ripping them away from wide receivers, he wants that football.
Yeah, I think the All-Stars guys here, Rakura, Will St. John Smythe from James Bond, and also Jimmy, the running back, they've had some great games here. Is that Big Sam Kenner back in action? Yes,
Yep,
he is.
looks like he's
great
back.
to see him back.
Robinson in the left slot. But it's give to Jimmy Thompson. His father, or family member, popped in earlier to the booth to request a shout out.
You can tell they're from Townsville. Townsville could just walk up to the commentary booth and go, "Can you give a shout out to my wife, Jimmy's mum?"
Yeah, that would be something.
That's just Townsville people. God love them.
We've got legal procedure on the offense. 5 men in the backfield. 5 yards from the previous spot. Replay first down.
Too many in the backfield there, so I think it was a double tight formation there, and that means one of the receivers probably wasn't on the line like they should have been.
I'll tell you what, too, playing this game right now, helping these teams, I think, because we're out of the sun now, we're in the cool. I think this is going to help both teams just survive the game a bit better and come away with it. 8 minutes and 30 seconds. Clock is running. All Stars 30, West Australia 24.
You can see there's the forward down lineman, Sam Oldfield. Also on the line as a linebacker for the Raiders. They've been.
To get him to jump.
Is it false or is it unabated? Chances are it'll be a false start.
Jake Sadian there from West Australia, number 55, the right defensive end. He looked like he was ready to go. He was going to get shot out of a cannon for that one.
Overs now with a call.
False start, number 13 on the offense. Half distance to the goal, remains first down.
And it's the wide receiver jumping offside. They've certainly had their fair share of offsides. I'm seeing wide receivers as a whole in this tournament.
Well, if a receiver jumps offside, there's probably chances that then it's a pass and they're going to get the ball.
Yeah, you don't see
I've
too
gotta
many
get down.
receivers jumping offside to run block, do you?
Exactly, Kenny, exactly. You might make a coach yet, mate.
Oh, mate. I think the one exception is that when you get a slot receiver waiting to get a crack block. That might be the one exception. Micallef. He'll hand this off to Jimmy Thompson. Timmy Thompson's got a great block on the outside. And he takes us close to a first down. I can't wait to see that again. Fantastic work. And I think it might be the man who was just pinged for an offside. Look at this block. Oh, on Sam Oldfield as well. It's no easy task. Yeah, there's Tyrrell Sharp doing a great job at tight end. This time, Sharp's lined up as a tight end to the left side of the line. And guess who's back? It's Enzo.
Give him a crack.
Not as much success as his last carry there. Taken down there by Birch. And Waters as well underneath. Still 6 points the difference. Still plenty of time, although we're not too far away from the 6 minute mark. 6.5 minutes as I speak. So the Raiders, who only trail by a touchdown, probably need a big play on this drive.
They almost had it too, didn't they, Kenny, going down that way until Rakuru stripped that ball out.
Mikulev looking to extend this. Sharps jumped early once again.
Tyrell Sharp, number 13, sort of the left wing back there, obviously wanting to get out and
False start,
Lockie's
number
very keen there,
13 on the offense. 5 yards from the previous spot. Remains third down.
Well, if history repeats, after his last early jump, he went and demolished Sam Oldfield on the outside. So let's see what he does this time.
Again, giving another shout out to Kennard's Hire for the scaffolding and the ability to get nice and high for the television broadcasts.
Nothing like accidentally activating Siri than seeing a full transcript of your last call. 24 points. The Western Australian Raiders currently have. They toss it out to Balducci. Balducci only knows one way, and that's north, and he takes it down after a solid run.
Yeah, just a little bit of wind there. I think somebody landed on top of him and got a hand in the way, but have a look. Let's just toss it out. He's going to cut it back. WA just not getting low enough to bring him down. Oh, look at that. That's a great camera angle right there. You can see what Enzo saw, and it's where he wanted to put the foot in the ground and cut it back to the hole there. It was a great camera angle. Just fighting ways. Got hands. Yeah, oh, there we go. A little bit of an arm, a bit of a leg. And someone falls straight on the back. Number 23.
Oldfield there, taking a seat on him after the run.
Totally unintentional there. Just got pushed in. But Oldfield has landed while he's lying on the ball.
I think that might be his teammate, Jake Parfitt, giving him a bit of a pep talk as they pick him up. And there he is. He's just like, oh,
we just said, come on, mate, don't be soft.
Come on, man.
Come on.
We got some football to play.
Oh, look at those high shorts. Harry High Pants there. Ned Kelly.
Throwing it back to the
Kyle.
90s and the high socks.
And the high socks too, rocking it.
I think I think Kyle Reynolds just knows that we like to take the mickey out of him by now, and he's just leaning into it.
Yeah, I was trying to ask Kyle which tribe he was from with those calves, like me.
I think he's just, honestly, out of all the assistant coaches on any staff, he probably attracts the most attention.
With a high pant. We're just looking away there. He knows he's on camera. There he is.
He's doing his job.
Harry High Pants there. Five minutes and 8 seconds. Clock is running.
This is the down we just missed there. Thanks to Kyle. Thanks, Kyle.
So selfish, that Kyle guy.
Thompson taking it forward. He'd be awfully close to, well, actually, I'd say he's well over 100 yards, even without that long run taken off him.
Blake Curtin in the middle there for WA.
Under defense for Western Australia. Stiff arm there from Thompson. Lowers the shoulder. Gets this to the 35. And
that's a nice job from Jimmy there, just running into that rugby league background there. He's got the ball in the left hand. Comes out there. Watch the big palm, the big don't argue. Pushes him down. Oh, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. So Kyle, aka Ned Kelly, there, he's on the screen. Apparently he will shave the beard for probably $25. I'm not sure.
I don't know
This is
what he's
Movember,
done or
something
what
like
he's
that.
paid Paul Mills to command so much attention.
Yeah, but look at those high pants, Harry high pants there with the high waistband and the socks.
Somehow he's managed 3 close-ups in this quarter. What's up with that? Mick left, trying to get a slant to Jeeves, but the coverage is too tight by the newly 16-year-old Ryan Evans.
Ryan Evans is having a good game today. It's on his birthday. He's having a cracker, so he just gets that left arm around the back there, but the right arm at the front, so he can bat down that pass, and then you're in a great spot. And if he catches it, you just go full koala, where you can just launch on his back.
Solid fundamentals.
That is a technical term too, full koala.
He's going full koala.
That's 4th down and 4, Kenny.
We've seen a bunch of 4th downs. Flinders Cameron back to punt, so the All-Stars, they will back their defense with a final 3 minutes and 25 seconds. Flinders Cameron punts this away, and they've sent Lockie Pink back to return. Will he pick it up inside his own 5? That he does. He will race Symington. He will evade Symington. He'll pick up a block now. Now he has to take on Jimmy Thompson. Timmy Thompson won't let him get past, and now the Raiders, with about 3 minutes remaining, they will have to start this drive at their own 14.
That's all right from Will, because basically he had to protect that outside there, so he's not going to let him get outside, and then Jimmy comes back to clean up the mess in the middle.
Pink must be buggered. Absolutely. He's done a lot of work
That's a
today.
technical term too from Australia. He's had a big game, Lockie Pink, especially when you're running all those routes, as all the receivers do. They end up running quite a fair distance. 3 minutes and 11 seconds, and the clock is running.
Westlake, a chance to try and snag at least the draw. Looks downfield, looking for his man underneath. Bailey Beckingham can't bring it in, though.
That's what we've started to see now from WA. I think they've changed their plays up just a little. As you can see that they're letting the receivers clear out, and then the wider receivers coming underneath or finding that spot in the middle. So basically you can see that they have changed the game plan a little bit. They have seen something. It worked really well to Robin. I think it was Robinson on the deep end before.
It makes a lot of sense as well, with the All-Stars probably going to back off a little bit, the defensive backs anyway, as they try to defend against the deep ball. Symington, there he is at left slot. And they'll dare throw his direction again after he registered a pick 6 earlier. That pass was intended to Fletcher Dignam.
Fletcher Dignam there. I had a chance to coach his older brother Darcy back in 2012
I thought that name sounded familiar.
for the Australian Junior Outback in the Water Bowl against American Samoa.
And over at Runaway Bay.
Yeah, so it's great to catch up with a member of the Dignam family I haven't seen in a good 7 years.
That was one of the most interesting weather games ever, as we see a potential blitz get pulled back. A pass to Lockie Pink, but they've got Mikulev on him, and Mikulev bats it away.
And Mikulev will be talking some trash too to Lockie Pink. Good teammates from Mixer. This is a good angle here. Just backs up. You can see that the All-Stars are almost just in cover 3 quarters type thing of just, I dare you to pass over the top of me.
Take whatever you want underneath. And they've had 3 passes denied. This will be 4th and 10.
It's 2 minutes and 56 seconds left in the game. All-Stars 30, WA 24. It is 4th and 10.
Keeping in mind, WA still has 3 timeouts, and that is why they are opting to punt this away. They will back their defense to get them one more stop. Beckingham, snaps good. He gets this away. Special teams will need to make an effort here, especially when it's Sharp returning now. Sharp up the left-hand sideline. Sharp breaking tackles, taking on the punter. Sharp trying to shut this game out. Can't bring it in for 6, but it is the next best thing and is down at the 1.
That's an amazing return there by Sharp. A great job. He's brought it back better than where the punt was from. Just setting up. You see the All-Stars just trying to get in the spot. Good speed there. He's a big lad, number 13. Terrell Sharp there.
Well, they thought they were taking the safe option by punting it away.
Northwest Raiders there, I think it is, from Tasmania he plays for.
And now, who will they send in? Now, the question here, and it sounds silly for the Stars, but do you try to soak up a bit of time? I know you're only about a yard out, 4 out apparently. Do you try to actually take up a bit more time here before trying to punch it in?
Yeah, I don't think you can, Kenny, because you've got the 2-minute warning and WA have got all 3 timeouts. I mean, a great idea in concept, but I just think they couldn't soak up as much as they wanted.
Yeah, interesting. I think we might have a
Charge team timeout. WA. It's their first timeout for the half.
So again, you're starting to use the clock there, so WA will affect... Oh, look at the bottom of the gold boots there from number 55.
more gold boots.
That's Jake Sadyan. He's got the gold boots there at the bottom. So look, it's smart from WA. Effectively, they've got 4 timeouts. They've got their 3 plus the 2-minute warning.
But of course, they need to stop now. They need the goal line stand here. Using all 3 timeouts, then having to score twice. That is nothing short of a miracle. And you can see Coach Rowdy. Or I should call him by his formal name. His formal name of David Holmes from the Perth Blitz. Obviously, in his first national opportunity at DC, he's usually the offensive line coach. You see Matt Long speaking to his offense.
Isn't that great? You can see Matt Long in the foreground. You can see Nathan Long in the background. So you've got brothers here on the same field. He's a down marker.
Yeah, he knows we're talking about him.
He knows we're talking about him. He's got number 1 right next to him, just showing him which brother is the best, i.e. I'm holding number 1.
Just to call him out, pretty sure you need some closed-in shoes to be on those sidelines, but hey, we're not going to turn down your help.
2 minutes, 37 seconds. All Stars 30, WA 24.
And Wilkins will be the man trusted to call the shots on this key red zone appearance. Jimmy Thompson, he's lined up behind him. That's who they'll go to. An early stop, Grigorovich, and over the top, Matthew Waters.
Gee, Zane Grigorovich there, great stuff. Here's a great angle from him, number 11 on your screen. He sees pitch right there, and he's going to go for it. Great contain there by him and Matthew Waters, as mentioned.
So that's the step 1.
Clock is running, Kenny. Clock is running.
And the question is, do you take one here before the 2-minute warning, so then you actually maximise the time, or do you take it quickly afterwards?
I think I got some really good advice yesterday by one of the coaches, is use your timeouts after the 2 minutes. So
it's a 2-minute warning. There's 2 minutes remaining in the game.
1 second. And I think that's where you want to use your timeouts when you have them. There's no point in using them just before the 2. You really want to be able to control that last minute. And I think it might have been Nathan Long that was telling me exactly that about timeout usage and when to use it.
Well, 2 timeouts for WA. They used one before the 2-minute warning, and they'll give this to Jimmy Thompson. Thompson evading all the blockers, untouched and right in front of us, scoring what might be the lock-up touchdown for the All-Stars.
Easy, Jimmy. Don't jump and hurt Chris.
He is literally untouched on that 6-point run.
And there we are right there. We're looking out the window of the car there, and what a great spot there by Jimmy. Just hands the ball to the referee. Great play. It's almost like an inbuilt counter. I know it's not a counter, but that's pretty much what stopped WA from tackling. Like, they had him right there, then and there. You can see he's going to get tackled right there. He's decided to cut it back and then cut it back again to the left, which has left a lot of space. So the old double move, Jimmy, great job from Townsville. The Townsville family will be going crazy.
And Jimmy Thompson, look, he's not overly fast, but for his size, he's got some agility. So many times he's able to shift his body weight and get these hard cuts, which are getting him downfield. Here he is again. This time they'll pass it. Wilkins looking for the sharp and the flat. Incomplete.
Pass was just a little behind, but I think also Sharp was looking into the end zone. This will be a great camera angle right here. Throwing down the pipe. Pass is just a little behind the receiver there.
Well, it's not crazy. Western Australia would need a quick strike and then probably recover an onside kick. They have got 2 timeouts in hand, which isn't enough to play defense following their first hypothetical score, but it will help in trying to get that first one.
Yeah, absolutely. All Stars with all 3 of their timeouts left. All Stars 36, WA 24. WA have 2 timeouts left. There is 1 minute and 53 seconds left in this game. That's a great quality picture right there.
Well, Jacob O'Halloran and Lockie Pink, the 2 deep men waiting for this kickoff. Flinders Cameron, who's been kicking quite well, will send this downfield. It's high and it's to the direction of O'Halloran. O'Halloran will field it cleanly. He'll follow Pink. Up the right-hand sideline, he'll look for space, and he won't find any. A great special teams play there by McLaren.
Really good job, but also, unfortunately, it took a lot of time off the clock coming across the field. Obviously, tried to have something set up.
Before the offense takes the field, let's continue to look at the games ahead. Obviously, 5th versus 6th right now. 3rd and 4th, Victoria. They'll be taking on South Australia at 9:30 a.m. tomorrow. And we'll be going live about 9:10 with pre-game interviews. In the National Championship, after much deliberation, will be the Queensland Sun Devils taking on the New South Wales Wolverines at 12:45 Australian Eastern Standard Time. I'm so glad daylight savings is over. Westlake hauling it downfield. The pass was in the direction of Curtis Madeira. He wasn't ready for it.
And also, too, Kenny, just don't forget, for the people at home might be watching, and I don't know if Paul Mills has got it in his calendar, but basically after the final game we'll have the game presentations and a few other things from GA, but also we'll be announcing the selection camp 2020 that we want to see. We want to announce the players that we want to see come in January to try out for the Outback to go out to USA 2020 next year. So.
And on top of that, we'll also be hearing, of course, tournament MVPs. I am hearing whispers that it might be a couple of positionals getting awarded as well. And that is Westlake launching it deep, but it is McAuliffe with the pass breakup.
I think it was a case of Big Will and James both going for the same ball. I'm not sure there. Be a big day tomorrow, Kenny, so you guys are going to have to get some sleep tonight, drink your water, be hydrated.
Take me strepsils.
And there's almost as much happening after the grand final, the national championship, as there is during the morning as well. And I believe GA is going to have some big announcements as well.
I believe that is the case. We'll keep that under wraps until tomorrow. But yeah, big things coming out of GA from what I'm hearing the initial stages of. Grigorovich takes the quick pass in the flat, looking for blockers. Mikulev, Rakura, Gil Ellicott, they're all there. The clock's still running.
Look, a big 73. Is that Dom Allison out of there? Samuel Allison, sorry. Out in front.
I'm hearing the SOS calls. Let's see if they try to go to a similar call. 3 receivers out to the right, the open side of the field. Westlake now looking for his man in the middle. Madeira was the target. Can't connect.
Gil Ellicott had him lined up there.
That was 4th down, and that might be the ball game.
59 seconds left. 1st and 10 to the All-Stars.
There's only got 2 timeouts. Logic dictates they won't be able to stop this clock. So the All-Stars are looking down the barrel of their very first victory in this tournament and their very first victory in the history of the All-Stars program. So I'm sure that was talked about in camp. They have a chance to make history. The All-Stars 2 years ago got very, very close. They certainly, in a corresponding game, gave the Western Australian Raiders quite the scare.
And I do hope that our mate Luke Chapman is watching somewhere because of this All-Star concept, and I hope he's feeling quite proud.
Yeah, he helped get it started along with Chris Jackson down in Tasmania. And looks like they're not going to go into knees. They might try to run a few more plays. A couple of the lads wanting to get a few more plays in. And that note's being brought to us. I'm not sure. Yes, there is.
First and 10. Ball's on the 32. 48 seconds left. Stars 36.
We've been charged team timeout to WA. It's the second timeout for the half.
And whilst the All-Stars obviously will be stoked with a job ahead, you got to look at this Raiders side. The narrative has been this has been an incredibly young side. We talked about how the All-Stars...
This is the youngest side in the tournament, Kenny.
We talk about the All-Stars, how they're coming together for the first time, but this is the first time of representative football for almost, probably well more than half of these Raiders. We talked about the average age, 16 years, 2 months, 3 months. A lot of these guys tasting competitive football at this level for the very first time to compete the way they have is nothing short of impressive.
Coach Michael Kerr is telling me that the majority of these guys are going to be back for the next tournament.
Well, all but 7 are returning. So, whilst it's been a tough outing here, these guys have learned a lot from this tournament. They will be bringing it back in 2021.
Everybody has rebuilding years. Everybody has rebuilding years.
And, it's quite tough for these guys. They follow a lot of history here, but these guys, every year has tough years, and these guys are still representing very proudly. That's Birch almost with a hit in the backfield. Clode's taking it forward now. Eventually taken over the top by Connor McFillan.
I think they are getting touches to everybody because Will Clode is a fullback, I believe, with the University of Canberra Firebirds. So that's why they're allowing him to get a touch on him, having a bit of a run here, so getting some reps.
But there's an example of that right there, Birch. We've talked about him before. He's not even the 15-year-old standard there, and he's coming in, making an impact on this game. That just shows you he's below the league minimum, and he's still someone out there. That just shows you how young this team is.
19 seconds and the clock is running.
And
that is 10 seconds and running on the clock.
And that will be the final play of the game. So, valiant effort, not only this game, but throughout the tournament by the Western Australian Raiders. I love that look there. That's Birch being the first man to shake hands. Congratulations to the All-Stars who pick up the victory this afternoon. But it was a fantastic game of football, competed very, very valiantly from both sides here. The final score is 36 points to 24.
That was a good game.
Long
that was a good
and
game.
His guys get the win this afternoon. But the Raiders, I'll tell you what, has every reason to be up there with one of the most promising teams for the 2021 Junior AGL.
Thank you, Kenny. Thanks for a great call. Thanks, everyone, for watching at home and those in the stands. And I will catch you tomorrow, young man.
Indeed, for the National Championship as well as third versus fourth, starting at 9:30. Coverage starting at 9:10. Kenny Andres on behalf of Coach Hollywood and live streaming Brisbane. We will see you tomorrow morning.